Today on Mob Rules.
We make sandwiches with the Eldar.
Phil's back.
And that's about it, really.
Yeah,
we
that's
talk
really
about
it.
Fracture Built-In, Phil comes back.
Lot of
Eldar.
Eldar
lots of
sandwiches.
Eldar.
Lots of Eldar.
We talk about Phil.
If you like John talking, keep listening. If you don't like John talking, don't listen.
Yeah, this has been the wine and cheese.
Or in fact, still listen, but just don't mute it or something.
Yeah, just play it. Keep it playing.
We like our download numbers.
Yeah.
All that and not much
All
else.
that and not much else.
All on today's
episode
44? 44 of
44.
Mob Rules.
Mob Rules.
Oh, that was the worst. Underpants.
Welcome to Mob Rules, episode 44. That underpants you hear is the lovely, adorable Ted Kincaid.
Oh, underpants.
Yeah.
Yes, underpants. Still the underpants.
Yeah.
I, of course, am John. Joined
Hi, John.
Joined once again by our roving reporter.
No, the non-roving reporter. You guys are the roving reporters.
That's true.
Back from the front line.
We did rove back from the front line. Though, did you notice when we didn't have Phil on, he
our numbers were better. Oh, sorry.
That had nothing to do with LVO. Nothing whatsoever.
It's because we did the podcast naked.
Yeah. you could just tag every podcast from now on LVO, and we'll see what it does with the numbers.
No, we got to start tagging them Adepticon, then BAO. Really kind of
whatever one, Nova Open.
work the hashtags.
Yeah,
work
exactly.
the hashtags.
Exactly.
But
the new hotness at the time.
Speaking of new hotness, today we're going to be talking about Fracture of Bealtan or Beltan, Gathering Storm Dose.
Fracture of the boy band.
The Fracture of the boy band.
Yeah.
God, I love the
Beltan
Backstreet Boys.
boy band.
The boys are back together.
I didn't.
Ooh bop, da 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 da. Ooh bop.
I didn't think I'd have enough. I didn't think I'd have enough time to read that book today, or at least a fluff section of it there. Stupid life getting in the way of my unemployed ass. Yeah. But I managed to get it all done, so we'll be able to talk about that there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm excited. So, Ted.
Hi.
I saw you actually assembled a model.
I did a hobby.
Hey.
It wasn't just my normal crocheting night either. It was assembling a model.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a blast. I did the Garatus, Galatus. Yeah, the Galatus Dreadnought from the Legio.
Galatus? I thought it was Gladius. No, maybe.
Gladius is a formation.
Yeah,
fool.
I know, but it's like it comes from like a
Roman
short sword.
They didn't name a formation
short
after
pants.
a dreadnought.
No. It was named after a Russian.
They may have named both of them after a Roman short sword.
I don't think they would
Roman
pull
short
from,
pants.
They wouldn't pull from real
Roman
history
short
for this, Phil.
Yeah.
So
okay.
The Legio Custodes are actually like the village people.
Yeah, exactly.
So is he your cowboy or your sailor?
Which is the one with the leather?
No, I was going to say all of Ted's are just the guy in the biker leather. It's the only one he likes in his village people.
I think there was like a point like when I was 20 where I thought like I listened to a lot of like goth and industrial music, and so I'd wear like leather stuff all the time. And I had this like van. It was like totally like a rape van. It had like the couch bed in the back, and it was totally ghetto. And I remember like picking up a hitchhiker once, and I didn't even think about it. I was
you
just
should
like,
never pick up a hitchhiker when you're dressed in leather with a rape van, Ted.
No,
it's just they're not hitchhikers, then they're victims.
Not only that, like just as she gets in, I was listening to like my mixtape, and I think "My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult," the song "Sex on Wheels" comes on. Sex on Wheels.
Did she only need a ride to the next corner?
Yeah, that was about it.
Yeah.
She was going to Homer, but we didn't make it anywhere near that far. She's like, "Yeah, you can let me out."
This is literally the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I feel safer there.
I feel safer in the woods.
It's cool. I got a dog. So, anyways, that was that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm really excited about the Inferno coming out.
I did order Inferno.
Did you?
I did.
Has it shipped yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I saw that. I was a little miffed because
Why?
their advertising was like, "What are you most excited about? Space wolves, like the word eaters, the legion custodes," and they never mentioned the Dark Angels, even though this is the book that comes out with their rules.
Is it?
They're
I thought
in
that
it?
was the next one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because Inferno is
Then
Space Wolves, Thousand Suns,
Then
Agents of
goddamn
the...
Neil lied to me because
I think like what's going to happen is with the Gathering Storm, like the Dark Angels get wiped out, and then they have to go back in time and redact them through history.
Bite your
So they
goddamn
actually
tongue,
are getting,
Ted. You bite your tongue.
They're getting rid of the Dark Angels in the Horus Heresy now.
Oh my god!
So every time there's a battle, it's going to be like,
You are
"And
so
the
lucky
Alpha
that you are
Legion
calling
battled
in,
the,
Ted. Otherwise, I would kill
nobody."
you so hard.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I will say though, that Dark Angels were not wiped out in Gathering Storm 1, or no, in Wrath of Magnus. They were just tricked into firing on the Space Wolves' home planet with their home world.
It doesn't take a lot for us to want to shoot space wolves. Let's
true.
be honest.
That's true.
Basically, all it was
shoot
saying like, "Why don't we shoot the space wolves?" And they're like, "Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
Great.
Yeah, it sounds good. Let's do that."
Hey,
Who are
do you have
Yeah,
tentacles?
yeah, exactly. Who are you? I have no idea. Whatever. We're
whatever.
just going to shoot him first. We'll figure out what's going on.
You seem
later.
like good people.
Yeah, yeah. I like the cut
So
of your
what's
jib.
your motive here exactly? Like, why do you want to kill? Oh, they had a Slurpee. I just that's,
No, that's probably
good
heretical.
enough. Get a Slurpee.
It was one of those. But they mixed flavors, so that's heretical. So probably should kill them.
Pretty sure that's heresy.
Yeah, that's-
I mean, you're dabbling in chaos once you start mixing the cola and wild berry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure the Emperor said like, don't mix with the gods and don't mix your flavors in the Slurpee. That was like his 2 rules that he put out. So
It's good rules.
That's really why they don't like the Eldar.
yeah, exactly. They're all about mixing their Slurpees.
That's what summons Slanesh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So what happens when you add Coca-Cola? No!
She who
I don't know,
thirsts
man.
for big
Something
flavor.
just jumped out of the
Do you want
fountain drink
Slanesh?
and
Because
started
that's
rubbing
how
my
you get
nipples.
Slanesh.
So if you are interested in Ted's first model build in like 6 months, he did film the assembly part of it. That is up on the Mob Rules YouTube page.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That was at John's behest.
Thank you. Yeah.
I listen to you once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, it's just, yeah. No, I appreciate I think a lot of the stuff people like to see how it goes together. Because, I mean, there's certainly bigger models or models I put together where I'm like, how in the fuck does this part? I mean, Celestine is a prime example of that. Beautiful instructions, but it's like, put spindly piece of plastic A onto top of spindly piece of plastic B. Oh man, yeah, I was not a fan of that. And then the Avatar of Nid as well. That one was like, please attach small swirling storm of destruction to A to piece B. And then dry brush. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm very delicately dry brushing so it doesn't break.
They actually have a Viagra for polystyrene. It's super glue, so if you just like dump it all over your little spindly polystyrene bits, it'll get stiff and hard, and it's easier to paint.
Yeah, but then I'm just painting super glue residue. And I did one of the.
That's usually what I'm doing anyways.
Skadoosh.
One of the guys who follows me on Twitter also pointed out that I missed a single soul stone on the avatar. I was like, "Hey man, missed a stone," and I'm like, "No."
Leave it to the internet to point out the one soul stone.
Oh man, no, he was like super nice, but he was like, "Yeah, everything's great, but it looks like you missed one." I'm like, "Oh," but it was back in the hair.
And did you point out that they only have one soul stone on them?
I think the avatar of Anid has like 70 around her because I had to paint all the damn gems.
That's right, because she's the of the dead thing. Or whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. Phil,
yes,
what have you been up to in the 4 weeks since we last talked?
On absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
My accounting class.
It's been a while since I've been on, but let's see. Have I been on here since I went up to New York?
Or no, you weren't on that episode.
That's
right.
You were
going to New York, and then we went to LVO.
And then you went to LVO. Yeah, that's right. So I went back to New York for a visit with family and friends. I ended up going into the Warhammer store in Plainview on Long Island.
Oh, man, you went in plain view, not hidden.
In plain view, exactly.
Yeah.
Completely unobstructed in plain view.
Completely hidden in plain view.
So I went into the new store there, and they had a Kill Team event that they were doing. So I was hanging out at the Kill Team event. Are you fixing a car or something, Ted?
Oh, you can hear that? Oh,
yeah.
Like real loud.
Really loud.
Sorry. I figured while I'm sitting here and not doing anything.
Oh, okay. I'm glad
this is podcast going on.
We've kept your attention.
Edit yourself out in post.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're going to be in charge of editing yourself out. But yeah, so I went to the Kill Team event. I'm hanging out, and I'm telling people, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a YouTube channel, and we do this podcast, and everyone's like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then I came to this one guy. We were talking. I'm like, yeah, I've got this YouTube channel. He's like, the Glacial Geek, right? I'm like, yes. No. How do you know?
And he was I masturbate to your videos all the time.
Yeah. No, he said he was like, I thought it was you. When I heard you say "woo," I knew that it must have been you, and I was like, oh snap.
That guy, he times the jizzing to the woo.
Yeah, exactly. That's my money scene right there.
Yeah. It was funny. He was like a super nice guy, and I was like, that's crazy. The first time I've been like recognized outside of the state of Alaska.
Yeah, I said last episode as well. I got recognized at LVO as well.
That's
so
nuts.
I'm like, it's so weird.
It's so weird.
Wait. So you went down to see your family and friends, and this is the first time you got recognized?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, snap. Who the fuck is this guy at our house?
Yeah. Every morning I would wake up and my parents would be like, who are you? Get out of here.
Now that you've achieved internet stardom.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll recognize you.
Exactly. The shine of internet stardom just blinded them. They couldn't recognize me anymore. But yeah, at the end of the day, I was getting that like customer loyalty card thing.
Yeah.
Marked or whatever. Yeah, the one that apparently you can't use because it was in a new store, the one you went to.
Yeah. That was so sad.
Yeah, but so I went up to
I was getting it like I went all the way down to Las Vegas just to use your card.
Exactly. So I was getting it marked, and then I kind of turned around. The guy was standing there, we were just like all talking. He's like, "Hey, do you mind if I get a picture?" And I was like, "Sure." And I held out the card. I don't know why, but I was like, "Do you want a picture of my card?" And he's like, "No, I don't want a picture of your card. I want a picture with you." But the thought process of anyone wanting to take a picture with me was so foreign to me and not in my realm of reality. I thought he'd want a picture of my customer loyalty card before he'd want a picture with me. So he took a picture. And it was
was he
cool.
Was he an employee or
no,
just a dude?
just a random customer. So yeah, it was super cool. So and they were all super nice guys there and had a good time. And the guy who was running it was super nice as well. So it was cool. So if you're on Long Island, New York, check out the Warhammer store in Plainview. So they're good people.
Yeah.
They're
going to give you an extra stamp on your card.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to get. Yeah. So I went did that, which was fun. I bought a bunch of different models. Got some for my birthday. So
you expanded your Gene Stealer cult.
Expanded the Gene Stealer cult. Also got the triumvirate. And
Ted, earmuffs. If you follow the Glacial Geek on Facebook, you'll have seen that already there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. Facebook.com/Glacial Geek. So, but yeah, so I got, a bunch of different models, and I haven't done a whole bunch of modeling and paint. I've been really busy, but this last weekend I got a couple models painted, which is good. I got a five-man Death Watch squad painted up, which was pretty cool. Expanding, so I don't just have special weapons anymore. I've actually got some guys with bolters, which is crazy.
You mean Avatar killers?
Yeah, exactly. So I got.
I heard you're supposed to use meltaguns for that.
Yeah,
was that right?
That's what he tried to keep telling me. Yeah, or just 1,000 million grav shots.
Really?
That actually works extremely well.
That works. That can be said for anything now.
That's true. But yeah.
Wow, you got rid of all my grots with 1,000 million grav shots.
Exactly. Eventually, you roll sixes, right?
Yeah.
So I got them painted up, and I also painted up a Ravenwing Apothecary, which involved two of my least favorite things to paint: white armor and a bike.
Dude.
So the combination of the two drove me absolutely batshit loco.
So have you met your airbrush yet? Have you been acquainted with it?
Yes, it's still broken, and I still haven't gotten the damn piece because it's like twice as much to ship it up here as it does to buy the damn piece.
Amazon Prime,
really?
right?
Yeah, but it's not on Amazon Prime. It's like Amazon associated one.
Maybe
so
I'll
not
look
free
for
shipping.
it. Like I found that book.
Yeah, that's true. You did really
good.
What
brand is it?
It's
what brand was
the Master G
Bader.
Yeah, exactly. The Master
Okay.
Bader.
Yeah, please sponsor us.
So yeah.
Well, what if we get it shipped to Chicago and I pick it up there?
That's true.
Or maybe if they have like I know that what is it? Pache is based out of there. At least they have like a branch there.
Yeah.
So I can pick it up.
Ted, do you mean when the Mob Rules World Tour 2017 continues?
Stop number 3.
Stop number 3. in Chicago, Illinois for Adepticon, because we're going to count Phil's little trip to Plain Sight, New York.
Man,
Plain View.
Right.
I like mine better.
It was actually a table in the middle of the parking lot.
I actually just went into my bedroom and closed the door for 2 weeks. Sat there with myself, with my eyes closed, just being like, la, 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 I know people. I've got friends, I swear.
Wow.
But so he got painted. When I was originally going to paint him, I was like, you know what? I know I really suck at painting white armor. I'm going to look up and figure out the best way to do it. So I start looking up, painting tutorials online about painting white armor. And I saw
then there was
one,
a picture
one
of
of them
Ted
was
saying,
like,
"Get your damn airbrush out."
Yeah, exactly. One of them was like, painting white is actually not hard. And I was like, oh, perfect. This is the best one for me. So I put that one on, and it's like, yeah, just use your airbrush, and then and it's like, and also paint like 37 different coats with your airbrush. And I'm like, first off, fuck you. Secondly, fuck you even harder. So then I go into the next one. The next one's like,
as a YouTube comment?
No, should have. And then I go to the next one, and it's like how to paint white armor, part 1 of like 37. I'm like, all right,
step 1, coat 1. Step 2, coat 2.
Exactly. It's like,
step 1, go.
So
buy
eventually,
airbrush.
I was like, all right,
step 2, assemble airbrush.
Yeah.
No.
So I was like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm going to make my own. So I ended up just priming it gray. I washed it with Agrax, and then I did a layer of pallid witch flesh, which is like an off-white, and then I did a dry brush of white scar white, and it came out really well. So it may not be, it's not going to win me a golden demon, but it looks really good, especially at tabletop quality.
Do you know?
Oh, you were so close, Phil. You were so close.
What do you mean?
I'm just playing.
No.
I tease.
Do you know how I painted all of my white helmets for all my Eldar?
Airbrush.
I drilled a hole in the bottom of them. I put each of them on little sticks,
Oh, God.
and then I sprayed them with white primer, painted the eyes, and then glued them on.
Oh.
That was literally it.
Yeah,
because
the poor man's airbrush.
I hate white so much.
Yeah, I posted the white, the guy there, and I was like, oh, he was such a pain in the butt to paint. And one guy was like, well, because you just painted it white, that usually gives you trouble. You got to start with like an off-white. And I was like, I did. I'm glad it shows.
Don't you love it when people like give you advice? Hey, you should have done this. Like, I did.
I was like, actually, it did that, but womp womp. So I don't know. I think he looks good, so I'm happy with him.
Yeah. Dude, I would do him. It's all right.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
He had a leather hat.
Yeah. If I covered him in leather, you'd be good to go.
Well,
people are going to get the wrong idea about me now.
No, they get the exact right idea.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly right. Well, speaking about covered in leather,
nice segue.
I picked up the Gangs of Comarach game. Obviously,
Speaking of leather,
I feel like you should be able to pronounce that. You're from a place that's close to Wales.
Obviously, I purchased the game for the game itself.
Yeah, obviously,
not for the $140 worth of models on the inside.
Definitely not
really?
because you're
was
now
that good, huh?
Because you get 10 Hellions who make good scenery because they're trash.
Damn.
Sad face.
Burn.
But you do get 6 Reaver jet bikes in there, which are usually about $40 for 3. So it's a net saving of like
and like $20 in dice.
Yeah, well, there's like 4 dice in there. I mean, the game looks pretty solid, but honestly, I just wanted the jet bikes.
Yeah.
And then
because you've gone straight Eldari.
I've gone straight Eldari. I mean, I've read a bunch of stuff. I've read a bunch of Inari stuff recently, and I'm all in. I did trade my Hierophant though. With one of our local guys.
Really?
I did.
For what?
Surprise, Phil. So Sterling is getting my Hierophant in exchange for all of his Tau.
What?
Tau? You weren't cool with just like you weren't cool with people whining about one of your armies. You had to get another one that people could whine about.
Yeah,
that was before I went all in with Inari. So I'm probably going to kind of like continually trade and get more and more Dark Eldar or Eldar.
This sounds like a Final Fantasy mission. Oh, you have to go get the golden spatula to trade it to this person for like the dirty bear underwear, and then this person's for the.
Yeah, this is Escape from Monkey Island Warhammer Edition.
Yeah, I was going to say this sounds to me like what happens when you play Tyranids and Orcs for too many years. It finally builds up, and then you just explode, and you're like, I need every Tau and Eldar piece I can get.
Oh, there's good armies out there.
Wait, what?
Whoa!
Why has that not worked for me yet?
I don't know. So yeah, I'm coming into a Tau force, which I hope to turn into a Dark Eldar force or a Inari force. So I want to see what kind of trades and stuff I can do. Other than that, I didn't get any painting done this past week since Ted and I.
You didn't get any what?
Painting.
Well, that's because you guys did. That's because you were probably tired from painting all of those Eldar that you brought down with you to LVO.
I did some more organizing and schmoozing.
Schmoozing?
For our Alaska tournament circuit.
So the AKTC.
Our first official tournament is going to be in Homer on March 4th.
Really?
And that's going to be the first one. I'm going to try and make it down. I haven't figured out the logistics yet, though.
Oh, okay.
And then after that's going to be out at MJ, so we're very excited about that. A lot of good community support there.
Cool.
And then lock down all of our event organizers pretty much for Ursa, our big convention that we have up here. So that was my hobby time this past couple weeks has been zero painting. I assembled 6 jet bikes and then loads of planning and Excel.
And then started an entire tournament circuit.
Well, I think I did see I did see your golden idol though. You have your Tau golden idol.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
right,
Oh
Iron
no,
Man.
I did paint something.
You did paint Iron Man.
I painted a Riptide. I painted Iron Man Riptide because my Eldar are red. These are obviously going to be allies, so they have to have some red on them. So I'm like, I see. Honestly, and just to stroke Ted's ego, I enjoy the work he did. He painted a Tautin for one of our local guys in an Iron Man scheme, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah. And also, I traded my Custodes for 2 of the Riptides. So I had to be like, I need something glorious and golden.
There you go.
So it was going to be my Riptide.
Oh, okay.
I meant to have it was meant to turn out kind of like the Iron Man armor in the third Iron Man movie, where it's like mainly gold with red accents.
Yeah.
But I just kept adding red, and it kept looking better and better the more red I put on.
There you go.
To the point where I should have just base coated it red and then painted on the gold.
But you have 1,000 cans of gold paint, spray paint.
I see one of our hobby stores shut down locally, and I bought all of their Retributor gold, 50% off because that shit is ridiculously expensive. Yeah, so I'm good to go.
There you go.
But yeah, that's about all we've been up to in the hobby, I would say. Not to speak for all of us, but I am.
Yeah. Fair enough, yeah.
I think we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right on back, and we're going to bust into Fracture of Beltan.
Ooh.
Man, my old lady's so moody right now. I hate that time of the month.
Not me. I buy generic tampons. They clean up all that gross lady stuff, and she's happy because we've saved money.
Wow, generic tampons. I'll have to give those a try.
Damn, I can't believe I lost another game. All of my dice are rolling once.
Quit the whining, man. You should change your cotton.
Another rending hit! Thanks, generic brand tampons.
Generic brand tampons, not just for ladies. For a limited time, send in 6 applicator sticks for a free dice bag.
And we're back. Ted is doing home repairs as we speak.
What? Oh, you can hear all that still?
Yeah,
I'm actually taking my iron hands out. I was going to paint while I was talking to you.
There you go. See, being like our listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Just painting.
Just taking some time to paint.
Yeah.
It's market research.
Just don't be too much like our listeners and turn it off halfway through.
Whoa!
Oh, that's funny because it's true.
I'm just saying that's usually how I listen to podcasts. I usually get halfway through and then I'm like, bored, move on. Not because of anything.
No moving pictures.
Yeah, well, that's basically what it is. I've got like 80.
Phil mad.
Yeah, I like to call it shiny object syndrome, where I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden I'll just be like, shiny object, go into that thing now. So.
I feel
there are no boobies on this podcast.
But when I walk my dog, that's my prime podcast listening
there
time.
you go.
So I get like an hour a day.
Nice.
To podcast
Nice. There you go.
But Fracture of Beltan.
Yeah.
You know what I learned typing up my notes for this book today?
That you typed up notes?
I really fucking hate
typing up notes.
Oh, hate is great. Isn't it wonderful?
I hate
hate is so cool.
Apple's Pages program's autocorrect program, which will not let me turn it off, and will continually try and correct Inari to Ariel.
All right.
So you wrote about the Little Mermaid.
To?
I don't know. I'm sure there's like 1,000 because at the end I was like, fuck it, let's just go.
We're just going to keep going.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going.
So tell us about the Ariel.
So about the Ariel. Well, Fracture of Beltan. I really the fluff sections in these past couple of books have been really, really good. And like past couple of books, I mean like Wrath of Magnus, Curse of the Wolfen. Everything that's kind of been moving this story forward here has been fantastic. And Fracture of Beltan starts with kind of like a little information.
Okay. Boring information.
Did you know that you could wash your clothes with borax?
Well,
wow, I got information.
It mainly talks about how kind of the Eldar created Slaanesh, and then what each of the different factions.
Guys.
Well done. Way to jerk off into a cup too many times.
I wonder how that happened. Okay.
But it goes on to how kind of like each faction dealt with that. So like you have like the regular Eldar who created soul stones, and they are all self-controlled and marshaled. So that way when they die, their souls go into the soul stones and not to Slaanesh. You get the Dark Eldar who do all kinds of kinky shit to others to kind of feed Slaanesh so that they don't get eaten. And then you have the harlequins who pledge their souls to the Laughing God, and they just keep, according to the book, one step ahead of Slaanesh. So how mortal people stay.
I kind of like how that was. Like, I grew up Catholic, and that was like one of the jokes that people would often say is like, "Oh, for you guys, all you have to do is say or ask for repentance, and you're good." Like, we're just like harlequins. All you have to do is like pledge to like some guy in a box, and we're good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Pope Francis said that the other week.
Okay, what a laugh!
And it's in this intro as well. Where we
get Catholics are just like harlequins.
We get the first mention of Aldari as a term for a race, and kind of I'm okay with this term honestly because it uses it to kind of encapsulate the old Eldar, like the before the fall Eldar. They could live to excess. There were psychic badasses who kind of controlled the world. They knew that if they died, they'd just be reborn again. So who gives a shit?
Really?
Yeah. It was all kinds of stuff. And then some want to go back to that way of living. Obviously, you were kings of the galaxy, and then you fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Eldrad Ulthwin is one of those guys who wants to go back to that way, honestly, because as he is so old, he remembers that way.
What is that music?
That is my beautiful washing machine telling me that the cycle is finished.
That's awesome.
That our computer picks up, but our microphones don't.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was like,
so Eldrad's been pulling strings, and if you've read any of the fluff before, that's what Eldar do. They redirect a hive fleet to go smash into an imperial world and kill 5 trillion, so that one craft world kind of stays safe. So he's been pulling strings to do this. It mentions in the infinity circuits, and the infinity circuits are kind of like in all craft worlds. It's where they store their dead soul stones. Where kind of all the Eldar dead kind of resides.
Yeah.
He feels like a singular conscious begin to rise. And that's when he's like, that's a Nid. And he kind of figures out that's a Nid, the god of the dead. The god of the dead is prophesied to defeat Slaanesh, but the small problem is all Eldar have to die for a Nid to live.
Oh, yeah.
That's all Eldar?
All Eldar. Yeah. Once every Eldar soul is dead and gone, then a Nid will rise and save them, I guess. It doesn't, yeah.
Okay.
But then smash cut to Eldrad working with the Harlequins trying to bring back a Nid without the whole genocide thing, and this was this was from the Death Mask starter box. This story, so that's why he's there. Here.
Oh, look at that!
His plan was literally insane, though. So Eldrad's plan to resurrect the God of the Dead without murdering all the Eldar
was to punch Deathwatch in the face.
He stole the dead crystallized fossils of Farseers from several craft worlds.
Oh, shit.
Because as Farseers age and kind of they become crystallized, and then eventually they're just statues.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So they turn into crystal statues?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Eldrad's like
ill.
part crystal statue at this point because he's so old.
Yeah, I think there's like a nice like lotion for that kind of thing, right? Or
Dove for elves.
Yeah, exactly. I eat these chocolates for my health.
So what he did was he went to the planet of Coheria, which is the planet from the Death Mask box.
You made that up.
No, I wrote it down. But it was a moon with it. I put this in quotes because it's what it's in the book. Psychoactive crystal sand. And
whoa.
So he put each of the Farseer crystal statues on that sand, which connected them all together. And through the Farseers, he could connect back to their Craftworld's Infinity Stones. And like some kind of weird ass fucking Wi-Fi connection where he's getting all of the Infinity Stones together to try and channel Enid. Sadly, it should have been enough to awaken Enid, but Deathwatch came and punched him in the face.
That's what you get.
Jerks.
That's what you get.
So the process wasn't completed, and Enid was not woken from a slumber. It just kind of prodded her a bunch. Like, hey.
Gotcha. But then she hit the snooze button.
Yeah. So that's our Death Mask box. Now, smash cut to Kamara. Or Kamara. We are in kind of like the fighting pits of Comora. And if you guys, people listen to the Independent Character Dark Elder episode, they have kind of fighting pits for entertainment in Comora. Okay. And so they were in kind of one of the biggest ones here. This connection here, and something I really like about this book is this part. Yeah, the airplanes right over my house.
Oh, really?
It's terrible.
Is that a new thing?
No, it just went in the airport. Things. But this book connects to the Valador
it's the refugees.
Apocalypse book.
Okay.
Because in the fighting pits tonight, there's Tyranids from Valador that the Dark Eldar pulled out as fighting pit people.
God.
Which they then...
How do you whatever? How do you capture a damn Tyranid? I'm like I feel like if you see a Tyranid, you want it dead or you run away from it. You don't go.
Yeah.
I want to peck.
These will fight well. Yeah. Now, the bit I had issue with here is it specifically says the witches bred the Tyranids to make them fight better and be stronger and tougher.
Oh, that sounds like it could never go wrong.
Wow, good plan.
They don't have dicks
and kill us all.
They're spawned from things, but yeah. So they're bred out there. So it was like the WrestleMania of fighting pits right now. So it's kind of huge, massive card. Everyone in Comora, anyone was there watching. Azrael Vecht was up in his little freaky Stargate-style pyramid looking down. And
they had a briefcase full of money hanging from the top of the center there.
There was a random succubi, or a chief witch, in the pit that night. And it's kind of like she's like the 40K version of Aladdin. It was a peasant girl who made it from the gutters of Comora to high favor. A ton of harlequins had come to see her fight, and she'd become a threat to Lilith Haruspex, one of the Dark Elder characters.
Okay.
So she's like, yeah, I'm going to fight you in the pit now so I can kill you and you're not a threat anymore.
Oh, snap. That'll do it.
So
how'd it work out?
So, pretty good. The peasant girl, she has many names, and this is very confusing. To Corsair, she's called Amhorak, and to everyone else, she's called Ivran, which is one of our characters from our triumvirate box.
Oh, okay.
She's described as kind of completely vicious, but then able to switch it to really calm. So, really split personality, just like any woman. I'm sorry for 1% of our audience.
Wow. We just lost it.
I know, lost that 1% of our audience there. Yeah.
Good job, John.
Yeah.
We'll never get it back.
Yeah.
Unfriended.
So she's
unfollow.
So she's fighting a bunch in the pit. She gets charged by a Dark Eldar cloned Hive Tyrant with 4 bone swords.
Okay.
Yeah.
The way it's described in the book is essentially she ghosts in the shells out of her clothes. She has that big pompous frilly skirt and stuff that falls behind her.
Yeah.
She ghosts in the shells out of that into a skin tight bodysuit, and then stabs the shit out of it with the husk blade till it dissolves.
Whoa.
She's fighting a lictor, and then another cool bit, Lilith comes up and kind of sneaks in between the lictor and Ivrin and stabs them both at the same time. Now, Ivrin parries it away, but the lictor dies. And then...
Sorry. Double stab.
Yeah, double stab. So they each have kind of witch cults that follow them, like Lilith and Ivran, and they call them off, big movie stars.
So I totally love your hair. Would you come to our party?
Exactly. And so they call off all the witches, and it's just kind of one-on-one between Lilith and Ivrin. And I've been reading nothing but prequel memes this week from Star Wars. So when it specifically says that Lilith takes the high ground, I'm like, yes! Ivrin... I'm showing Phil. On my notes, it says Lilith gains the high ground on top of Tyranid corpses in block capitals.
He did write it that way.
And I wrote, you never attack the high ground. So
true.
Ivrin gets mortally wounded by Lilith's blade.
Of course.
She's still alive at this point. So then
you can't hope to defeat her.
No,
she has the high ground.
Well, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Don't try it. Then a new challenger appears. It's an ancient priestess from before the fall of the Eldar. So this is this 10,000-year-old priestess.
Oh, snap.
Because she'd been Kylo Rand, as I was saying in my notes here, and then she's already been wounded.
Yeah.
A fight she should easily be able to win ends up being super hard. She gets her hand cut off.
Oh, snap.
And then as she's kind of falling down, she lunges at this priestess, wraps her legs around her, starts choking her out with her arms, and starts to bite her face off.
Ooh.
Okay. Wow.
It's pretty hard. I wrote a lot about this fight. This fight was super hardcore.
Note to self, do not go to the fighting pits of Comora.
Yeah. So, she's like the Eldar female Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
She will fuck you up.
So
and then bite your ear off.
They both die. The priestess and Ivrin die at this point. And at this point, when the moment Ivern dies, a massive ball of light kind of swallows both of them and fills the arena. Ivern sees Inad, the god, describing him as a shooting star from a crystal moon, which I think relates back to Death Mask.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're on
crystal
that crystal moon
yeah.
and they're being fired off. Then a constellation, then a trillion points of light that glowed in the outline of a solemn face, which I imagine being the entire souls of the Eldar race being all sad and shit because they can't die properly.
Did they count all the light rays?
Yeah, they did.
Turns out it's 1 trillion.
Yeah, they're like, ooh, 3 off.
Oh, we got to round up.
At which point they just killed 3 dudes and they were like, perfect.
Yeah, like I don't even know what number is 3 off from
good.
a 3 trillion.
So at this point, I did rename.
Simplify.
I did rename Inad to Eeyore, God of the Dead, because I imagine his solemn face to be like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. I guess I'll just go back to life. She's also described as being blinded to everything other than his glory, which I thought was a great line and kind of really speaks along the kind of cult thing. And apparently the god said one word to her, which was daughter, which, time to get some child support off of that shit because he's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
In stereo.
Just garnishing their wages.
Garnish her, yeah.
Well, that's why he hasn't come back.
Like, fuck, you made it out of pay that already?
So in the real world, her body raises up, and I wrote like a Highlander during the quickening.
Oh.
This is really going to date our audience quite a bit here.
Yeah.
But the lightning coming off her body would hit the stands, and whenever the lightning touched an Eldar body, that body withered and died instantly.
Ooh.
In the confusion...
Note to self, don't get struck by lightning, Comra.
Well, you're not a real Eldar, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, you don't know.
In the confusion of all this kind of like...
I got an idea.
of this dead woman Jesusing up in kind of a crucifix pose and lightning coming off and killing everyone, the Tyranids...
Much like Jesus.
The Tyranids kind of come up and start attacking the crowd.
Okay.
So then the Trueborn Eldar start kind of crowd control and trying to like shoot them with dark lances and splinter cannons. Some even kind of looked at Ivrin and saw her Highlander quickening, went, oh shit, this is psychic powers. And psychic powers in Comra are a big no-no because that's going to attract demons. So they started trying to shoot at her.
Oh, that sounds like that's going to end up well.
But everything bounced off her. They saw her wounds heal back. They saw her hand grow back into a sweet-looking, like, ancient Eldari glove kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And then Lilith, seeing this, grabs a jet bike and pieces the fuck out.
I mean, good call.
She gets out of there.
Yeah.
She's done. And then my next note here is, above all this, like Clue in Tron Legacy, Vex is watching from his patented bad guy floating sky fortress.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those.
He also decides to piece the fuck out.
Yeah, also a good call.
He doesn't have a model. He doesn't really need this in his life right now. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays no part
really,
in the
just don't play
tabletop.
with
So
me,
honestly, he just needs to get out of here.
So Ivern is reborn and she wakes up.
With a pet.
Yeah. Nope, not yet.
Oh.
She isn't quickening anymore, so her loyal witches are all able to come back to her side and kind of protect her. They kind of figure out something's going on. The arena guards come to kill her twice because bad shit. But sudden psychic outbursts are not healthy in the Dark City. So the guards go to attack her. The crowd's in panic. Tyranids are everywhere. She uses a Tyrannifex as a shield. Wow. So you have a Tyrannifex shooting grubs into the crowd to kill them. The arena guards come in to kill her, so she jumps on the back carapace and hides behind the spines while she's being shot at until she prepares her next move.
Wow.
The T-Rex is too busy kind of shooting at the crowd, so it doesn't really notice, I guess.
Yeah. As one doesn't.
As one doesn't. At this point, kind of, Ivrin realizes that being a psychically possessed witch who died, didn't get her soul eaten, and murdered hundreds of Dark Eldar nobles accidentally is really not a good combo for staying in Comra.
That's true.
Yeah.
But also, to be fair, like, they should have realized something was going on that they probably shouldn't have tried to attack her. I'm just saying, like, if you see someone, like, suddenly, like, Highlander quicken in front of you, you don't go, you know what?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot
you. You know, you go, you know what? Some shit's going down. I'm going to figure out what's going on, and then we'll just go from there. You know?
I'm gonna go check my eBay listings. How are they looking?
Yeah, look at the time.
I have to say, I would get the fuck out of there. Yeah, it has to be saying.
Go to Denny's and then fuel up, and then figure out what happens after that.
So yeah, the incubi come in to stop her, and incubi do incubi things and murder the witches awfully,
as one does.
But then Ivern feels like kind of uncontrollable power build up inside her, kind of like this massive headache, and then she says 6 words, which they never say which they are. So please let us know what those words are.
I left my toothpaste at the hotel.
Yeah,
that was 7.
That's 7. Okay.
So didn't say that.
Left my toothpaste at the hotel. Okay, there we go.
But that stopped the pressure in her head and also murdered all of the incubi around her instantly.
As it does.
Yeah, she was probably worried that whole time, like where her toothpaste was, and then she figured it out. It was
maybe what she said was kill those guys with my mind.
Yes.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
So then the 2 surviving witches join her as she runs out of the arena.
Cool.
She murders a hellion, which is those shitty, green
as
goblin glider
one
guys.
Does.
And she feels his soul getting absorbed into her because she killed him with his sword.
Ooh, naughty.
Yeah, so not going to Slanesh to be eaten, not going to a soul stone or anything, but like literally feels it inside her.
All right, so like
like a soul stone, maybe.
Could be worse.
Yeah,
could be worse, but maybe also probably could be better.
Exactly.
But,
it's new, it's different, it's fun.
Yeah.
So, like I said, just see what happens from here.
So she gets surrounded again by incubi, right? All right, bitch, we go through this time.
They didn't learn their lesson the first time.
But then suddenly, crimson armored incubi comes behind him and murders a bunch of them.
I think I've seen this.
Ivrin jumps on one of the shitty Green Goblin gliders and can instantly fly it like she's done it her whole life, even though she has no idea what she's doing.
Cool.
Which makes her like, yes, I absorbed his knowledge and soul and power.
Goddamn
look.
Yeah, I know. So they murder the rest. So a new ally is joined. So we went from
yada yada yada. All of them are murdered.
Ivrin and 2 witches to this red armored incubi and a whole bunch of other incubi.
Mm-hmm.
So this all happened at the same time Eldrad fucked up on the moon in the Death Mask.
Okay.
She died at the exact same moment that Eldrad tried to summon Inet and failed.
Ooh, good timing.
So good timing. Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I can go in this guy instead." So they all walk out of the arena, shit hits the fan, looking like kind of badass action heroes, not looking at explosions.
Oh, snap.
Buildings are destroyed, millions die at this point because you have Tyranids all over the place. You have Ivrin accidentally like turning people to dust with a thought. And then the small matter of, as soon as Ivrin died, Kane's Gate broke open. If you don't know the history, Kane's Gate is under Kamara. It's kind of a sealed door that keeps demons out of Kamara. So when Ivrin died and that psychic backlash happened, Kane's Gate opened and demons come pouring into Kamara.
You'd think they would have moved Kamara if they knew there was a giant gate that demons wanted to come flowing out of.
That's their. Kamara is massive. It's huge. I can't describe how huge it is.
Yeah,
isn't that where like all the Dark Eldar are from?
Yeah, it's where all the Dark Eldar go.
I'm still saying like you just move.
Yeah,
you got Reavers. Just hop on them, take a trip.
Yeah. So
build a new hut, start again.
Tyranids and demons
somewhere there's not demons and Tyranids all over.
Just
the place.
talk to the whole city of New Orleans and just hey, just move your city. It's easy. Just the Dark Eldar are doing it.
Hey, their dams worked, right? Yeah,
yeah, right. It's not quite that
New Orleans
easy.
Listeners.
Too soon.
Too soon. So Tyranids and demons are overrunning the city. Vect pieces out. He's going to return to fix shit once the Tyranids and the demons have killed some more of his enemies for him.
Okay.
And then he can come back as a savior and fix everything. And our heroes kind of make it out. The Dark City's pretty much boned at this point. A lot of it is.
Yeah.
Ivrin gains more allies. There's a Corsair fleet there, which she joins.
Okay.
As they try to escape, Vex ships try to stop them. But what the Corsairs did is they took their biggest ship and rammed it into what I can only describe as the smallest webway portal. So the front of
this is a children's book, isn't that?
Oh yeah.
The smallest webway portal.
He thought he could.
So they ram the ship, and the front of it makes it through. Sure, so the front of it's in the webway, but the rest of it is still in Kamara, and so the rest of it gets blown to shit by Vex's fleet of fighters.
Damn.
But
man, look at all that feces.
Yeah. Ivrin and all of the new reborn escape through the front of the ship into the webway. And because the gate is blocked by this wreckage, Vex can't go through and chase her.
Damn.
Okay.
So that's pretty
baller.
Pretty baller.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's to me it's some great visuals there of just this ship stuck in the sky. It was pretty good.
Also, I'm glad that they came out with a box set for the gangs of Kamora, and then instantly destroyed Kamora.
Well, Kamora's huge, so only a small portion of it at this point is destroyed.
Okay.
I mean, shit's not looking good, but it's a very small portion there.
But there's plenty for gangs to fight in.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the new Reborn, they get lost in the webway, and this is something I learned from this book. I didn't really know before. The webway is vast, cavernous, and it's really easy to lose yourself in unless you know where you're going. She figures out that her two witches, they need to devour souls or do something because they're starting to age. They're starting to get
in
bitchy.
the webway. They're just aging, instantly.
Yeah, because they're there for months. They're there for months and months. It says.
And time works differently in
time works differently in the webway. Yeah,
warp too. Yeah.
Sort of like the warp.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But she's excited.
Isn't that essentially what the webway is? It's just like it's a series of doors inside the warp. Sort of.
It's like a stable tunnel through the warp, pretty much.
Oh, okay. I learned something too.
But she gets excited because she's absorbed this soul, and that's a new way to protect the Eldar from extinction and being eaten by Slaanesh. So she's like, the Dark Eldar will probably take it because they won't have to torture and do all that other shit to stay safe. The Eldar might have an issue with kidnapping people's souls and putting them in your body. But,
one would imagine.
It's talking. And then shit gets weird. She hears a song in her head.
Shit gets weird.
yeah.
Then shit gets
So
weird.
she starts hearing like a song in her head, and then kind of the webway changes, so they're walking on walls. With
I do
the
that all the
ceiling.
time.
Oh, is she a fracking toaster?
I saw the sign.
She's a fracking toaster, isn't she?
It's kind of the usual
she's
weird
hearing the
webway shit.
music.
The witches are still infighting and calling each other skanks, pretty much.
Okay.
A direct quote from the book is openly quarreling amongst themselves their incendiary insults regarding each other's intimate practices. So it's literally what they're doing. They were literally calling each other whores.
Oh, wow.
So they needed to get out before the witches went bloodlust insane.
Okay.
Where want to get forward. So they came to a dead end with kind of a portal right there. So I guess not really a dead end. Just a room with only a portal.
Gotcha.
They don't want to go in, but they don't really have a choice.
I don't have a portal.
Yeah.
I'm screwed. No portal.
So they go through this door portal, and they find like a shitload of Slaanesh demons.
Okay.
Or demonettes. They're dancing and frolicking with Dark Eldar corpses. And they're accompanied by someone... no, literally. And I imagine them like air dry humping Dark Eldar corpses.
Whoa!
Okay?
That kind of frolicking.
So they're accompanied by someone playing a flute.
Were they wearing leather?
I assume they are. They are accompanied, though, by someone playing a flute out of an Eldar thigh bone.
Was it a flesh...
Maybe.
Was it the Pied Piper?
Maybe the Pied Piper. But at the center of it all was the Mask of Slaanesh. Everyone hears the Hellion soul in her head screaming in panic, which honestly must get annoying if you're hearing about, especially if you absorb more than one soul.
Yeah.
Shit's going to get loud. So when they're about to retreat, they look at the mask, and the mask does his dance, which makes all of the Eldar sit down or dance, and they're all under complete control. And then suddenly Harlequins.
Okay.
Harlequins jump down.
That's literally how Harlequins always come in, and suddenly Harlequins.
Suddenly Harlequins is going to be written down so much in this write-up here. Demonask is kicked. The mask screams so hard, he breaks a hole in the webway and escapes.
Wow. God, it was so hard.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. The Harlequins shake their head in disgust and repair the hole. And then suddenly, Harlequins disappear.
Okay.
They go away.
As they are wont to do.
Yeah. There's only one solitaire left, and he decides to guide them through the webway. Their intended destination...
I think we're done here. Slurpees, anybody? Let's go.
It's like everyone else runs off. He's like, oh, God damn it,
They
guys.
do mention
All right, fine,
that their intended destination is the Ultramar system, which is a nice little spoiler for Gathering Storm 3.
It's where the local 7-Eleven is.
Yeah.
I heard that's where all of the cool models are going. I mean,
But first up is Beltan, the titular craftworld of this book here. Eldrad had seen all of this coming and happening because, Eldrad got to Eldrad. So he told those Harlequins to go find Devran and take them to Beltan. So
how did he not see the Death Watch coming?
Yeah, he's too busy looking at other shit.
He was plot devising.
Yeah.
So the High Farseer Beltan wasn't super happy about the group. He saw a fork in the future with the Reborn. It was either just like a literal fork. But no, so he's either leading to a fire and the end of days, and the other was a darkened veil and a tolling bell, which, reading tea leaves, they're both as bad as each other.
Yeah, I was going to say. Neither seems like the good option. Go for the middle prong of the fork. or just look for the future spork. You know, if the future fork is leaving you to those two options, look for the spork of future.
The third one just seems to be stock advice. That sounds really good. That would be really well.
Hey man, if I was a farseer, I'd be all about the stock advice.
Yeah.
And then look at it. It's like fiery this way, dark tolling bells this way, buy apple this way.
Yeah. I'm gonna be rich, motherfuckers. Where's he going?
Luckily on Beltan, demonic incursion is pretty much impossible. But small but
there's a gate underneath their major city that allows them to come in whenever they open it.
The Mask knew there was a back door to Beltan, which is a great porno movie, by the way.
The Mask and the back door of Beltan.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
It was on a
The Mask does Beltan.
It was
I'm
on
here to fix your plumbing.
It was on an Exodite maiden world called Ursula, which had a giant obsidian.
Are you sure this
gate.
wasn't like what your program decided to change some other word into?
No,
Ursula?
I remember this part.
Ariel and Ursula.
This part, I get that. That's
Hey,
funny.
there we
I
go.
like that. There you go.
So they all entered the porn hub. What?
So
No, we're gone from Korra.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So thankfully, though, this obsidian gate, the only kind of direct route to Beltan, had been sealed a ton. And thankfully, sadly, though, the world was kind of being destroyed due to massive warp storms that suddenly appeared. Also, a full-scale demonic invasion from the Mask.
As it is wont to do.
The Mask had united Khorne and Slaanesh demons, which fluff-wise, very hard to do. They do not like each other.
Yeah, they beat each other up with the warp storm table.
Yeah, they sure do. But it's only because she needed Skarsbrand the Exile, who was the only one strong enough to break the seals on the gate.
Wow.
So one of my favorite parts of this book is when the Mask finds Skarsbrand in the warp and goes to talk to him.
You got the touch. You got the power.
The Mask could have looked on
I
literally.
can break gate.
Yeah, the Mask literally could have looked on any table where someone's running a Khorne army.
Yeah.
That's where he is every time.
Skarsbrand, though, sees the Mask, doesn't even listen to her, just starts trying to kill her, just starts beating the shit out of the ground and stuff around her with the Mask, or with her axe.
Yeah.
And then finally gets bored because she keeps dodging and just ignores her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's when the Mask comes back and says, "Hey, I was exiled too." And Skarsbrand's like, "Did we just become best friends?" Well, no, quite that.
Worst buddy cop movie ever.
Mask and Skarsbrand.
Yeah, Mask and Skarsbrand. It's like Starsky and Hutch.
It wasn't quite kind of the Step Brothers do we become best friends thing. It was he listened long enough for her to be like, "Okay, I'll give you a little wager. There's this planet, Ursula. Whoever kills the most people there, Khorne of Slaanesh is the best god ever." So of course, kind of,
Bet you can't break that gate over there with your axe.
Oh.
Bet you I can.
so this brought
Played.
hundreds of thousands of
Hold
demons.
my corn beer.
Yeah, this hold my beer while I break this. But yeah, it brought hundreds of thousands of demons to this planet, and all just trying to murder each other, like everything to kind of get that tally up there. The Exodites there were said to be overwhelmed in days, so an entire planet full of Eldar kind of massacred in days because of this thing. Then suddenly, Beltan, they appear. They know this gets here. They probably know that they're going to be coming. So they focus fire on the big dudes. And it spends about 2 pages of this book talking about how good Beltan is at war. And how they like fuck shit up there. And they
It sounds like a Trump rally speech.
Oh yeah,
I'm the best.
They're the
I'm
best.
so good at war. Anyway.
They are the best at war. And then suddenly
I win big, Lee.
So it talks like 2 pages solid of just like how they're doing this, they're outflanking here, all those troops here are doing this. The tanks are coming down, all this great stuff has happened, and then suddenly Skarsbrand comes down, and it talks about how he cleaves 3 grav tanks in a single stroke, and it starts really fucking them up.
Wow.
So the Eldar start pulling.
Rolling sixes, huh?
Yeah. So the Eldar all start pulling back because they want to kind of form a gun line and kind of be like, okay, we'll take you there. And the Mask is pissed because the Mask needs Eldar to go forward to defend the gate to piss off Skarsbrand to make him stronger so he can break the gate. So what the Mask did is he taunts the Eldar by grabbing 3 dead warlocks and eating the soul stones like oysters in front of the obsidian gate.
Whoa.
So it devours the Eldar cells, and
damn.
the Autarch just gets super pissed,
Yeah,
like furious
no
at
duh.
disrespect. He's like, "Fuck the careful plan that would have worked. Right on forward." So on they go. they worked on killing the fire prisms, like shot the shit out of Scarbrand, and talks about how they all focus fire on him and he has all these beams coming on. But what it reminded me of in this scene is kind of like the Incredible Hulk, where they keep firing at him, but the more they fire on him, the bigger he gets and the angrier he gets.
Oh,
wow. So all Scarsbrand can see as he's hulking up is the mask laughing at him from atop of this obsidian gate. And that pisses him off, so he throws...
Ha ha, your pants look funny on you. Ha 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 ha.
You're getting your ass kicked. What a pussy.
Yeah.
Pussy. Not even holding your beer anymore. So then he throws an axe, which destroys the gate. The seals on the gate, which opens the gate.
So does literally every Eldar city have a gate for demons to come in if they can open it?
They all have
they
all have webway portals. The thing with Biltan to remember is, and I didn't mention this earlier, they're big on kind of respreading the Eldar race and populating worlds with them. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of kind of maiden worlds out there which have access back to Biltan if shit gets real. Mm. But they're all kind of locked up and not supposed to be used.
Yeah.
But there are these back doors here. So the Eldar kind of switch their focus. They kill all the demons near the gate to kind of stop the demons getting into the webway to kind of head towards Biltan there.
Yeah.
Scarsbrand gets pissed because he realizes that Slaanesh tricked him, that the mask tricked him. A really good bit in this book here is when...
So they pick up all the pieces and try to rebuild the gate. All right, kid. Oh, sorry.
No, he just starts wailing on Slaanesh demons now. Oh, no. So come the Apocalypse allies are a thing. Yeah.
They rolled, what is it? They rolled the 1 or the 6 or whatever it is on that. And they start attacking each other.
So they say in the book that Scarsbrand, he realized in a moment that the mask had no intention of sitting down at the end of the battle and counting the casualties, which just gave me like a hilarious image of two demons sitting being like, no, that one was mine.
Yeah.
I did most of the damage. I get the kill.
Checking the the hanging Chad on his soulstone. See which one he can. It's like, it looks
Recount.
like he was intended to be killed by Khorne before the Slaanesh came in and just like clipped his left testicle.
Wow. While Scarsbrand got the popular vote, the mask actually won.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
I just have a hard time envisioning like anybody of Khorne counting anything. Like
they get to 8 and start over again. Yeah, they get it to 8 and start over again.
1, 2, 3. Oh fuck it! I gotta count you. What did you just say?
Luckily, the Autarch was smart. He sent a message psychically to Biltan and be like, "Hey, gate's broken. We're kind of fucked." So the people in Biltan went and sealed up every webway gate so nothing could get in via the webway.
And as we've learned from this book so far, once you close a gate, it will never be open ever again.
No, never, ever.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sadly, demons don't need oxygen to live, so the ranger ship, the ranger ship that the Autarch sent to monitor the demons that got into the Craftworld had the mask holding onto the bottom of it.
Damn.
She got all the way to the heart of the Craftworld. She proceeded she danced for any Eldar she found. And when
girl.
Yeah, pretty much like a cheap stripper.
Okay.
And when she kind of had them all under her spell, she turned them into demonettes.
Okay, as one does.
She gets to the heart of the Craftworld, where kind of the avatar of Cain is sitting on his throne. Mm-hmm. She sits on his lap like a cheaper stripper and just starts summoning demons.
Okay.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Luckily, a Farseer found out through kind of reading runes and sent howling banshees after the mask, which I imagine just Farseers like tea leaves now. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a demon in the avatar room. Send all the banshees. The banshees looked at her, so they all started to dance, and they lost super easily because of that. But then suddenly Janzar appears, the Phoenix Lord of the Howling Banshees, and she kicks ass. Sadly, it's too late.
Yeah, of course. I'm guessing someone opened a gate.
The mask infected the Craftworld's Infinity Circuit. She put her hand in there and kind of and the Chaos Demons all went kind of corporeal and went and infected the Infinity Circuit.
Not a good call.
Yeah, shit was bad. Demons were eating.
Should have had Norton.
So demons were in the Infinity Circuit eating the souls there. The Janzar counterattack not doing much. This is when Evrin arrives.
Okay.
Like, hey.
Good timing.
Due to the fact that the majority of them looked like Dark Eldar, they were held at gunpoint when they arrived.
Okay.
Due to the demonic invasion.
This whole book is like a whole bunch of Eldar pointing their guns at the wrong thing.
Yeah. I mean, you just summoned everything up there.
Yeah.
The demons make a beeline for Evrin, though. They see her and they're like, Evrin literally sighs and all the demons disappear. All of them. Literally. Like, it's described in the book as she just, like, sighs under her breath. And the demons all dissipate.
Swoosh.
Wow.
The High Farseer of Beltan kind of remembers Rune, because in a previous life, she was in Beltan too, obviously.
Okay.
So they have a temporary peace. Emergency council meetings. Spirit Seers are kind of siphoning untainted soulstones out of the Infinity Matrix.
Okay.
The craft world continues to fall apart, because the craft world's held together by this Infinity Matrix. So now that it's kind of trash, it's cracking and it's fracturing.
Ah, there we go. Fracturing, is it? Could you imagine if you were like in the Soulstone, you're like, all right, well, this isn't great. I can't come back right now, but at least I'm safe in this Soulstone, in the Infinity Circuit, in this giant city with the gate that's totally locked and never going to open up ever again for these
demons.
Has
a space hammer.
No one has a space hammer. Scarsbrand will definitely not try to get in. It's like, oh, crap, now I'm infected by demons. Oh, crap. You know, that sucks. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So they call a council. Everyone tries to talk to the council, but they don't really have any time for someone from Biltan who left.
They try to shoot her again?
No, she just left, went to Comora, brought back a shitload of Dark Eldar. Okay. And they just, I'm not listening to you, whatever. You don't know what to do here. The High Farseer says, hey, you better listen to her. Then Janzar tells the council, hey, this woman will save us all. She is our savior. So they kind of started listening there. She says that the prophecy of all the Eldar dying is dumb. And she says the new prophecy is
that's dumb. I don't like that story.
Yeah,
just gonna kill
I got another one.
three
It's about
guys.
a caterpillar that eats a lot.
Steve, my ex-boyfriend. Jim, the ex-manager at the store I used to work at that fired me.
Sorry, John.
And then this guy, Adam.
It wasn't Jim. It was Alvin.
Yeah. This guy, Adam.
Inside baseball.
Sorry.
But no, they need to reunite 5 swords, which were meant to be the finger bones of a god.
Okay.
They have one of them.
Okay. I'm guessing the one that she used to
she said
poke things.
Yep. 2 are on a crone world called Belial 4.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that there, Phil.
Yeah, I do.
And
I like the name.
One was a load-bearing wall of Biltan. I wrote it.
A load-bearing wall.
She wants it. They won't remove it. It's integral to the craft world. So several Eldar tried to murder.
Who freaking uses a sword to build a wall?
I don't know.
Goddamn Eldar.
Uses an axe to break
their easily broken demon gates. Putting their giant ass swords into walls. Come on.
It's just bad.
I mean, they deserved it. I mean,
when these Eldar live for thousands of years apiece, spending so much time writing poetry instead of learning carpentry. Obviously,
or simple door mechanics.
Yeah, seriously.
So when Vryn says, hey, I'm going to take that sword, several of the Biltan Eldar try to murder her outright.
Of course.
Janzar and the Vizark, the red armor dude, they stop her, though.
Stop her? Or them?
Stop them.
Okay.
As Vryn, she takes her cool new Init hand that grew back after she got murdered.
Yeah.
She just plunges it down into Wraithbone.
Okay.
And it kind of disappears in there. Then she pulls out a sword.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like King Arthur style.
Nice.
And then the craft world starts to break apart. Mm-hmm. All the souls from the Infinity Circuit start escaping.
So they literally made the linchpin of this entire planet a sword.
Yes.
Okay. I've lost a lot of respect for Eldar so far with this book. Go on.
So
shoddy door making.
When she pulls out this sword and all these souls escape, you think, oh shit, we're gonna feed Slaanesh all of these souls. But no, that's when the suddenly Avatar of Enid appears with the kind of swirling soul storm of Enid. Yeah,
so is this the first time we've seen the Avatar? I just pointed
at John's beautifully painted model of it.
This is the first time we see the Avatar, and it appears, and everyone's like, oh my gosh.
Aw, snap.
We know exactly who you are. We've never seen you before, but we know you.
I've never met you, but I love you.
So that's the end of part 1 of the book. Part 2 and 3 are a little shorter. Just to let you guys know, I'm very psyched for part 1. The arena battles, that big kind of Khorne Slaanesh thing, really appealed to me. It was super awesome.
It sounds really.
It was really intense, really well written. It's battles there.
It was okay. I just felt like there weren't enough orcs in it.
So basically, Cliff Notes versions. Every Eldar city has a really shoddy gate underneath it that will have any number of demons stream out of it as long as you just have a stiff wind that blows against it. Also, every Eldar wants to shoot the wrong thing at all times. They've got really poor
judgment.
target priority when it comes
they're kind of like Cobra.
Yeah.
To be fair, from the Elders part, where they're trying to preserve their life, and they have this way of life where like, it goes into Soulstones, and then we put it in the Infinity Circuit, and then if needs be, we put it in a Wraith, and that's good. And someone's like, no, man, you gotta let them die, and they'll come to me, and everything will be fine. No, that's not how we do things.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, no, you must be new here. No, we're doing that. No, you're not. Guards. Yeah. So I can
shoot the new thing that's also glowing. Looks like it probably has a lot of power.
So yeah, so that's it. We're gonna take a quick break because I just talked a hell of a lot.
He did.
I did, and I apologize because this is gonna be very me heavy this episode.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've thrown in enough hilarity on our part. So.
Absolutely. So apologies for the 95% of our listeners who prefer Tad and Phil. But yeah, we're gonna take a quick break.
By that, he means all three of you. I guess. Yeah. The Phil and Ted hour.
Yeah,
nobody's downloading that one. Let's be honest.
Phil and Ted are.
So I just listened to 3 hours.
No, I don't even think I'm going to do that.
No idea what you guys just talked about. It's just a whole bunch of you guys laughing.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck is a Phil and Ted podcast?
Yeah, the Phil and Ted podcast is just us making fake farts for an hour and laughing at it.
Boom! I would listen to that. We'll be right back.
Man, ladies kept checking their drinks. Thanks, Bill Cosby.
Hey, buddy, have you tried chocolate? It's a natural aphrodisiac that doesn't trigger any of the FBI's chemical tests.
Wow. Thanks, guy.
Where are you going?
To the grocery store.
Chocolate for that special lady that doesn't know she's special. Yet.
Welcome back.
We were gone for so long.
We were so long.
So long.
It's our podcast is like the web way. To you, it might feel like only like 30 seconds to a minute.
However long it took you
was
to make
at
that
least
one
6 to 7 minutes.
At least.
But yeah, we're back to kind of finish off the book, The Fracture of Biltan. Spoilers ahead, by the way.
We never said spoilers in the beginning. We just went through an entire third of the book. Well,
yeah. That's what you get. Sorry, Danny.
Yeah, don't listen to us until we spoil it.
Oh.
Well, I accidentally spoiled part of Master of Mankind for Danny, so I feel bad about that.
Masters of Mankind? What for?
The Horus Heresy book, Master of Mankind.
Oh, yeah?
I accidentally spoiled something. Oh, a few episodes ago. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
It really affected me deeply, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been doing my damnedest not to spoil the Beast Arises for you guys.
I'm pretty close.
It gets real good.
Close.
It gets real good.
Aww.
But we're still fracturing Beltan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So Beltan starts to break apart.
Do they find other gates to open?
When the Incarn, the Avatar, appears, all of the demons go away. There's at least 5 times in this book where something happens and all demons go away. Mm-hmm. So,
okay, they're really fickle.
Yeah,
so
they're pretty fickle.
So basically, a new meta appeared, and then all the demons went away.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Except no meta can erase demons.
Burn.
No meta can erase demons. But the Biltan assumed that the Avatar was a Slanesh demon, which is pretty accurate if you look at the model. It looks pretty similar.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Well, I mean, I guess if like you think that like Eldar created the Slaaneshi god, of course you might like resemble them a little bit, like have a little bit of their DNA. You know?
Oh yeah.
Well, comes from Eldar.
So maybe what it is that he doesn't look like Slaanesh, but Slaanesh looks like him.
Right.
Except Slaanesh is older.
You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know.
So
don't pretend like you know.
It's just a Slaanesh wears one tan.
Time is just a construct made by the Imperium. So
wow.
Yeah. So smash cut.
Yeah, smash cut.
Beltan starts to attack Enid and Co. So the Reborn. Spirit Seers are kind of desperately running, trying to pull soul stones out and put them into wraith constructs to save them.
Okay.
I swear they're like a bunch of frat boys. Like, God, where can I shove this? Oh, I really want to stick this somewhere. I want to put my soul stone in something.
Ivran is walking the halls with kind of her warriors and her little army. They're taking random soul stones out of the Infinity Circuit and they're transferring them into waystones.
Okay.
The Biltan tries to murder them for doing that. It's like, you're stealing souls.
Yeah.
But the harlequins is described as a harlequin just kind of stands in front of the Biltan Guardian and like shakes his head no. And was like, no, this is happening. He doesn't murder him at all. It just that's all that happens.
It's cool, bro.
Yeah. The ship was ripping apart. Ivern is starting to have a little doubt for the first time since she got reincarnated. Like, oh my god, I'm going to die. This thing's awful. Mm-hmm. When suddenly Ulthwé
Suddenly,
the Avatar being born kind of sends shockwaves across the galaxy, and all of the Farseers across the craft worlds feel it. Eldrad again, goddamn, uses the dead Farseer statues.
Eldrad.
Oh my god, it's just on. I mean, he's using it like a signal booster for
Seriously.
Wi-Fi. He opens up a warp portal from Ulthwé to Biltan.
Okay. So another gate is open?
Another gate is open,
okay, cool.
between craft worlds.
That can never go wrong.
Never goes wrong.
Never go wrong.
All the Reborn kind of travel through this portal. It's described as awful kind of warp stuff, but all of the demons and even the Chaos Gods cannot look at the Avatar. They're scared of the Avatar.
Okay.
And it said that every second that these guys are in this portal, thousands of humans die.
Oh, okay.
Because of like the psychic shockwaves and shit like that.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
just like Steve the custode is just like shoving his like down.
But these were acceptable
Just
losses.
waiting for his popcorn to pop in the microwave.
He's like do. Get out of the damn webway already.
So her reborn war host now includes her,
Yeah.
2 witches, some incubi,
Okay.
the Visearch, the Corsair pirates,
Yeah.
the Harlequins,
Yep.
And then some Biltan people who agreed with her.
Okay.
The only kind of corny thing in this section here is it
Corny, I see
says
what you did there.
Waka.
it speaks about a bunch of dire Avengers from Biltan who are following her now, and how they use the psychic nodes in their suits to change the color of their armor to red to match the Visearch. I'm like, that's
It's like that.
That's not a thing. Stop it. No.
It's like the was it like the ultraviolet? Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah. All right, it's a thing.
All right, I'm in the white room. Got to change my suit to white.
There's also a huge amount of Wraith constructs as well. So like Wraithguard and all that.
They were running around shoving them up into them, right?
They're attracted to the Reborn. They follow them around.
Ooh, that kind of backfired on Biltan,
Yeah.
didn't it?
So
They're like, quick, make the Wraith construct. Oh, damn, they're going
away.
inside. Damn it.
But the first to arrive in Ulthwé is this new avatar. And it speaks about hissing and silently with the voices of the dead. So I just imagine like thousands of voices kind of talking in unison, and just
Sort
kind
of like
being
our podcast.
super creepy. Yeah, we're the voice of the Avatar.
1,000 voices speaking at the same time.
Avatar, yeah.
Is that you, Aunt Carol?
So in Ulthwé, Ivern again, they hold another council. Eldar always with the fucking councils when they can't just do action. Ivern tries to sell the Ulthwé council on kind of this new what they call the seventh path, which is like, let's reunite these swords. So they try and sell them on this timeshare deal. Tell them that hey man, 2 of the Crone swords are on Belial Forts and the Eye of Terror just around the corner because Ulthwé is near the Eye. But they wouldn't go. They didn't want to be another Beltan. Like, well, here the last time you did something like that, Beltan fell apart. Where we ain't doing that shit anymore. That's when envoys from another craft world show up.
Okay.
Craft world Altan Sar. Altan Sar was a craft world where the Eldar fell 10,000 years ago. Got kind of sucked into the Eye of the Terror.
Okay.
The only person to escape that was the original Phoenix Lord Morgan Ra.
Okay.
Thousands of years later, he went back and rescued that craft world, pulled it out of the warp.
Oh, nice.
But they don't really trust them anymore. They never remove their helms.
Okay.
They speak in soft whispers. Everyone's like, yeah, they're just demons now. You can't trust them.
I mean, all like, do they like to open up gates? Because that would be the good test to see if they're demons or not. So they just like put a gate in front of them. They're like, what are you
going to do?
What do you want to do with this?
I think I want to leave it closed. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Yeah, the one guy goes like, does this thing open? Oh god, it's demon.
But the kind of the main emissary from Altanzar is a warlock called Gwantilian.
Okay.
And she speaks very softly to defend her, but no one can hear what the fuck she's saying because she's whispering with a helmet on.
Yeah, that sounds like
so she takes off her helmet. And it's like, oh, they never take off their helmets. And they're just
It's
like,
a dude!
But no, it's just like a super pale Eldar. She also took her cat, like the little Grinks, went along with this warlock too. She tried to talk, but then the Ulthwé warlocks got all pissy and started throwing up psychic defenses and started doing maledictions to the
it's like gang signs to Eldar.
Yeah. Well, and then they started doing like
Yo,
strength.
what psychic edition are you?
They started doing like strength sapping spells to the Altansar and kind of really kind of putting them down. So then everyone's just kind of building up to go like fight again, and shit's really about to go down until guess what? Suddenly Harlequins.
Suddenly Harlequins.
I mean, this book could be retitled sometimes to Suddenly Harlequins. They brought with them, I'm going to butcher names all the way through here, but Kaisadurus, who is one of Ulthway's kind of wisest Farseer visionaries. And he said the Inari
didn't see this coming.
He said that the Inari had to leave the craft world, otherwise another craft world would die. They didn't specify whether that was Ulthway or a different one, but I know those guys have got to go.
They probably just said it because they wanted to get everyone else like on board. They're like, it could be yours. You don't know. So maybe help me get them off of here.
So now the Reborn leave. So you have the Reborn with the witches and the Incubi and the Vicearch.
So the Reborn is that the one with the regrown hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what the whole army is called now.
They're all just called the Reborn. So
it's
anyone who's on her side.
Yeah.
So Reborn. Okay.
Hey guys, this is a thing. Is it a thing? It's a thing.
Okay.
Did you dress in black too? It's a thing. I don't know what's going on here.
Let's do it.
Thing.
Ted, I will kill you so hard. I swear to God. I will kill you so hard.
Dark Elder are not going back to black. Dark Angels are going back to black.
Yeah. Oh my God, I will
born,
kill you
and
so
then I was
hard.
born again. You were born again. You're reborn.
It's funny because I don't think he can hear you. I hate you so hard.
Sorry, Phil. It's a thing.
So it's like the throughout this book, the Reborn are kind of like the little old lady who swallowed a fly scenario, because now you have Ivrin, the witches, the Incubi, the Vicearch, the Corsairs, the Harlequins, the Beltanians.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now
all of the Wraith constructs.
All the Wraith constructs, and now some of the Ulthway are following them as well.
Okay.
Wow, this is...
So also some Altansar craftworlders and Eldrad left with them too.
Okay.
So they all went for the Eye of Terra. So they're under a hollow field, so they can't be seen, and they kind of do a little drive-by of the Fall of Cadia battle. And they're going right on by, and they're like, we're going to ignore your shit. You do your stuff. We got stuff to do.
You do you, bros.
Smash cut.
See you, McCrae.
Smash cut. It's Kamara, the Dark City. Vect is still really pissy about Kamara getting wrecked. So he sent...
Guys, it's not cool. It's just, you guys ruined the place. I
much.
left for a week. It was just... If you're going to do that, at least clean up. It's just,
the rug really pulled the whole room together.
Yeah. I mean, it's replace the rug. So he sent homunculi to find Ivren and destroy the Nanari. And that's spies, so they all headed to Belial 4 as well. So we have all these forces kind of converging there.
So everyone's going to Belial 4 at this point. Okay.
The Reborn reached the surface of Belial 4 inside
Death
the eye.
Watch.
It was deserted. There was sand everywhere. And again, I had another kind of prequel meme moment when I was like, I hate sand. They saw some kind of half-real things in their peripherals, but nothing kind of concrete when they turned around. Okay. The Ulthway Strike Force kind of went searching out, and the Harlequins kind of went searching a little bit. And that's when the Shadow Seer comes up and is like, we're not alone. And then
I see dead Eldar.
Suddenly, Homunculi Coven's attack. Which my favorite line of this book, or one of them, because I probably say this a ton, but it says, an echo of the torrid past comes to rip away the brightest hope for the future. Because the Homunculi are the worst of the Eldar from before the fall. And this is kind of like the new one they're trying to stop. The warlock from Altansar dies. Control him. The cat starts following Ivren.
Okay.
So that's how she gets a cat on there.
Nice.
There's a ton of Talos Pin engines. They come for Ivren. The Dire Avengers shot them a bunch. It wasn't very effective. The Wraith Blades attacked them a bunch. It wasn't very effective. And then the Visarch attacks, it was super effective. So the pissed off homunculi, they release Jinn spirits. And they go to attack the Visarch. The Visarch can't cut them because they're just spirits. They're not real things.
Yeah.
And it lifts them up Jesus style, breaks his bones, and starts to pull him apart. But as he's about to be pulled apart, the Avatar comes and just fucks them up.
Okay.
Like, he kills spirits. And that proves to the Dark Elder this was a god of the dead. So they ran away because like, oh shit, we can't handle this.
Yeah.
But that's, so like, okay, we won that one. But then suddenly demons. They're attracted to the battle. It's in the middle of the Eye of Terror. It's in their back court.
Yeah.
Slaanesh demons come. They're surrounding the Reborn. Everyone thinks they're completely fucked when suddenly Harlequins.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a big battle. A ton of people die near Ivrin. Because it's a demon world and kind of stuff doesn't work like normal in real life. They describe that you can literally see her inhale the souls of people as they're dying.
Oh, wow.
that's not the gross part, Phil.
No.
A giant spiked tongue emerges from the ground, on top of which are riding 3 greater demons of Slaanesh, led by the Queen of Suffering.
Okay.
You want to know how big this tongue is?
3 meters.
When it smashes,
on a scale of 1 to kiss, what are we talking about here?
well, when it smashes to the ground, it kills hundreds of reborn.
Oh, damn. So, like, just under kiss is what
Just under kiss, yeah, just under kiss. Thankfully, the Incarn Avatar shows up, grabs the Queen, the greater demon, the Queen of Suffering, by the throat, and then gets smashed into the ground by the other 2. It gets fucked up pretty hardcore. So that's gone. Ivrin screams in pain, using the energy of death to destroy all the demons around her, like, Terminator 2 Judgment Day style.
Yeah.
Where they all turn to, like, gray ash and then get blown away. Yeah. Again, Ivrin screams or says something, everyone around her dies.
Yeah.
And then she looks around and she sees the harlequins moving, and she notices that the battle is pretty much a move-for-move copy of a harlequin play that she used to dance in when she was a kid, like the way they were moving and everything. So she just started to do her old dance moves, and that predicted how the demons moved, and she killed a shitload of people doing that.
You can dance if you want to. Leave your souls behind.
Because if you
don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they'll
no
probably
souls
eat them
of mine.
anyway. Not souls of mine.
It's kind of like playing Mega Man, where she just watched like the pattern, and then she was able to defeat Bubble Man.
And then
like Link.
Then she speed ran the her way through those levels.
So dancing along, she kind of felt one of the swords nearby. She screams out, and the Avatar is reborn again. He bursts from the ground holding one of the new sword.
Oh, snap.
And then murders a bunch of demons and starts hacking the shit into the tongue. Just boom, 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 boom. Okay. The tongue retreats. The demons are completely beaten, though, when the Ulthway Strike Force kind of shows up from behind to finish them off. End of part 2. Chapter 3, Last Hope of the Eldar.
Oh, nice.
Or Revenge.
Last Hope or Lost Hope?
Last Hope.
Last Hope. Okay.
So I wrote here, Inari plus Ulthway equals death.
Okay.
They're quickly beaten back. They search for kind of a defensible position because they're going to be back. It's part of the eye.
On their desert land.
They find a massive... they find a massive hall, obviously.
Okay.
So out of the back of the hall stomps out 3 yellow and blue Wraith Knights. They just start shooting the shit out of the people, the demons in the doorway.
Oh, the demons in the gateway?
The Wraith Guard appear too, and it's Ayandin, and they're here to rescue them. Realizing they need to leave, there's a massive gold portal behind them on a demon world. Phil, you want to jump in here? Open portal?
Yeah. Nothing bad can come of this.
So realizing they need to leave, they kind of go through the golden portal to Ayandin. It was a perilous journey through the webway, but they were guided by harlequins. Suddenly harlequins. Yeah. It's described this journey took weeks.
So why are the harlequins like super good at making their way through the webway portal?
Because they are the guardians of the webway.
Okay.
So it's their job to kind of...
Because they're doing a great job so far, it seems. Every single door of the webway portal's been open so far. And demons come flying out.
Exactly. So they've only found one of 2 swords on Belial. Okay. So Ined is not strong enough.
And is it like curved a little because it was made out of?
Oh yeah, it's right there in the Avatar's hand.
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, of course it is curved. So it is the sword of Belial.
Yeah,
a little curve there because of it being made out of the
fine cast.
Yeah, fine cast.
So she was fine because there was another sword in Yandin. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But the sword wasn't there. So they're like, fuck, they didn't have a load-bearing sword in this here.
Oh, they learned and they just put up like a 2x4 instead?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But then suddenly...
Harlequins.
Chaos.
Ah, damn.
What? We already had Harlequins, right?
2 rotten space hulks
come
out of the warp, infested with Nurgle.
Okay.
Demons don't need to breathe,
That's
so
true.
they all just jumped from the Hulk to Ayandin and kind of slowly floated across there.
But do they burn on re-entry? I feel like...
Well, a craftworld is just a massive ship. It's not actually a planet. So it gets across fine. So this battle starts to rage, and they can hear all this thing. The Yandins don't really want all of their guys reborn. Their whole thing is they're all the Craftworld of the dead.
Oh, yeah.
So if you take the dead away, not much Craftworld left, so we're good.
Yeah.
So they kill the reborn with kindness by putting them in the greatest hall they have and giving them the best food they have and cleaning their weapons. And look how great we are. Just you stay here, you. They can hear all this kind of battle going on around. This is my favorite battle in the book, is the Nurgle battle. I also like how we'll get to this later. Every pantheon of chaos is represented in this book in a battle.
Oh, I'm guessing Zinch is coming later.
Ivran raged.
Spoilers.
But she quieted herself because she didn't want to fight any more Eldar. She's done that already. You know, it's like, okay, no good can come of this.
So far, she's made her way killing every single Eldar that she's been able to find.
Much. In space, the Hulks had thousands upon thousands of guns because they're all kind of grown together. It's described as not having a single smooth surface on it. That's how kind of amalgamated everything is. So it was shooting ended, but also they fired plague drones to fly across and eat the warships. So they have like kind of these space fighters kind of trying to protect the Andon. So they would avoid the kind of the solid shot ammunition coming from the Hulks, but the plague drones the Hulk was firing would kind of eat at it like the buzz droids from Star Wars.
Okay.
So it was super, super gross.
Yeah.
Inner confinement. Ivran uses kind of the death around her. She reaches psychically for a dude called Thrali Longblade, who's a Corsair captain that she used to fly with. He came to her call. They came hidden by hollow fields, and then Weight of Fire fucked up the first Hulk. Like they blew up the first Hulk, which is Weight of Fire of like her fleet and the Eldar
target
fleet.
priority.
Target priority, right?
Yeah,
the small one.
yeah.
The second larger Hulk was
Get rid of the ads.
Exactly. The second larger Hulk was fired upon by the joined kind of Eldar fleet, but it was massive. And they said for every hole they cut in it from shooting at it, demons kind of flew out of it like bile from a wound.
Oh, sexy.
So they said it would take days to blow it up from the outside. So Prince Iriel made the call to destroy it from the inside. Iriel, Eldar special character for a long time, has a cursed spear that slowly drains his life away. All that other kind of fun stuff. They use the best way I can describe it in a sentence or less is they use web waste shenanigans to board the Hulk.
Okay.
I imagine a gateway or two was open.
A gateway or two was open. They suffered.
Should we open it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it a gateway? Then yes.
Chaos. They suffered acceptable losses in his defense.
Okay.
So inside the Space Hulk is described as kind of the innards of a giant monster, kind of going through like the inside of a whale. They said the heads of old previous trespassers like puked out spores of fungus.
Gross.
From old who trespasses on a Nurgle ship?
I mean, this guy apparently.
Rogue traders.
Hey man, I'm bored. What do you want to do? Hey, let's go trespassing on a Nurgle ship.
Rogue traders, bro.
I don't know.
Rogue traders. Gotta go get the stuff.
Survival of the fittest, I guess.
When they get to the engine room, the beasts of Nurgle are seen, but they're sleeping. They're hugging the engines for warmth, and they're kind of cocooning themselves to kind of become better and all stuff.
That's adorable.
So at the center of it all was a demon prince whose name can only be pronounced correctly with a throat full of phlegm.
Jeff. Oh, sorry.
Phil. No.
Oh, damn.
It's written down as Garagugulgor. So I was like, so he's described as massive and fat. He had like little thin arm whips that were deadly, but his massive weight meant he couldn't move, so he didn't really get to battle much. But he was like super happy because the Eldar came to him. So it's like, how are you now? So Prince Iriel and a Corsair prince leapt to kill him. Just I'm going to take care of you. Iriel, cool dude jumps. Yeah, but the Corsair prince Lumino, he died. And the selfish bastard woke up every other demon in the room with his death screams. He was also eaten by the demon prince, though, so in his defense.
Yeah, but he's got to be quiet, man. Come on.
So, abandoning stealth, the Eldar attacked. The Corsairs were using all their weapons. They used Jakaro weapons, it says. They used all Dairy weapons from before the fall. They used Dark Eldar weapons. They used combat drugs. The demons just couldn't touch the space elves. They were flying all over the goddamn place. Iriel was a badass. He tried a Matrix wall run and kind of jumped over the demon prince. And then the demon prince went to puke on him, but then he moved. So then he got...
Oh, what a dick.
Yeah.
Who moves?
But then he got grabbed by the demon prince instead, and the demon prince tried to eat him. So then his spear of twilight lights up, and it lashes out by itself. Not at the demon prince, but at the engine of the Space Hulk.
Oh.
And it stabs.
You missed.
Yeah.
Oh, did I?
So the demon prince screams out, no, and black veins start to spread out from the heart of the engine throughout the ship. So with the ship dying, the demon prince got pissy as shit and threw a girder at Iriel and killed him.
Oh, damn.
It's not a whiner.
Yeah.
So he's dead.
Yeah, he
Just
then
his
killed.
life.
He then killed the rest of the Eldar that were there. And this is like they have like a good page of describing the battle with the Demon Prince, and then after the engine gets fucked, it's like, yeah, he killed Ariel, and then all the other Eldar died too. But with the engine broken,
Yada yada yada. Eldar are dead.
With the engine broken, the Space Hulk can only drift in one direction now because it was the main engine for the whole thing. So they're like, oh, we can avoid that now. It's fucking easy. Well, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
But to try and gain further favor, because he was really good with Papa Nurgle. So he's like, I need more favor. So what he does is he sends Ariel's body drifting through space towards Eandon. Because broken spirits please Papa Nurgle. So, smash cut. Back to Eandon.
Okay.
Battle's won.
Yeah.
Because Ivern had called the Corsairs to help. Eandon was they were cool with her now. They were cool with the Reborn now.
Yeah.
They fought against the demons on the Craftworld. They banished the demons. They cured the disease because death cures disease. Ariel's body was recovered. It was quarantined, and luckily so because it was crawling with disease.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? It's described that she's kind of held, like the body is held in kind of the stasis field, and kind of keeping everything there. Vran came through. She used her death magic and killed all of the plagues in the room.
Gotcha.
And then she ran 3 fingers across a door, and the doors opened.
Come
Should throw an axe at it.
Seriously, why? Like,
why did
every
Eldar even doors?
Like, why? Yeah, why do you door? Why do you door if you're not going to use a door?
God. So 2 Wraithguard came up to stop her because like, whoa, you shouldn't be able to fucking open that door. Come on now, you know the rules. You're Eldar. But the spirits here was like, come on, let her in. She grabbed the Spear of Twilight, and then she stabbed Ariel in the heart with it deep in the chest.
Oh, is that when she got her legs?
This caused Ariel
Ability to sing.
this caused Ariel to sit bolt upright Jon Snow style. Game of Thrones spoilers, but yeah, she sat up Jon Snow style. So the spear that kind of had been totally taken life from the whole time gave him his life back.
Nice.
And then it turned into the 5th Crone Sword.
Oh, snap.
So Ariel was reborn, and they have their...
The whole time.
They have their other Crone Sword there.
Okay.
Smash cut.
Smash cut.
Cormora.
Yep, back there.
Vecht is still pissy.
Yeah, duh.
The homunculi are still pissy.
Yeah.
Vecht is telling everyone, hey, I meant for the reborn to escape. I meant for demons to invade and for all hell to break loose. He fortifies like a
hilarious, right?
Yeah, I meant for this. It was part of my master
clever.
plan. He fortifies like a long lost corner of the city, and he offers protection to everyone, but for a price. But the streets are crazy. Archaeans are
just like a handy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. But Archaeans in the streets are killing other Archaeans. Oh, I aim for the Tyranid, but my rival is now dead. Oh no.
Yeah.
And around the arena, Tyranids are wasting the world. Archon Sithrak was, it said, beheaded by a shadow creature. They're giving him a name. I can't remember right now.
We're going to go with Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
He decided that skull was the perfect shape to finish his 10,000-year skull collage.
Okay.
And that opens a portal to the Mandrake dimension, which leads a bunch of Mandrakes out to devour the souls of everyone and beat demons back. So these guys joined up with the Homunculi Covens in the third night of fighting. So in the third night of fighting, you have Homunculi Covens and Mandrakes, all kind of doing. So the demon incursion starts to lose momentum because these guys are able to kind of push the demons back.
Yeah.
Vecht is telling people publicly, hey, I control Ivrin. I control the Reborn, where we're extracting her power right now to use. But a lot of people didn't want to believe her, so believe him, and kind of that was eating away at his power.
Duh.
Privately, Vecht and the Homunculi searched for Ivrin hardcore. They just wanted to end that death magic. So that's kind of where they leave the story in Cormora. Is shit's hit the fan. They're fortifying. They're kind of getting their stuff back together. Mm-hmm. They're beating the demons
leaving
back.
plenty of space for gangs to fight.
And also gates to be put up.
Yeah. Plenty of gates.
Smash cut
with flimsy locks.
Smash cut to Smash cut to Eandon again.
Okay.
Ivrin is transferring the life force of the dead into the Wraith constructs. The difference is when Ivrin does it, they're no longer trapped. So in the Eldar Codex, it describes when you're putting kind of like a Wraith construct, you're like living in a waking dream, and nothing's really real. It's just kind of like you're not.
It's like
there.
an Eldar dreadnought.
Yeah. But they're describing the when Evrin does it, they're able to see, feel, hear. They're truly reborn. Like,
I'm sure they're going to be really happy about feeling when they're going to be sent to the front lines. Ow, that hurts.
And they get kind of all of their memories from their mortal life and everything back. So Yandon is more formidable than ever because you got these ghost warriors who can kind of move better. They have better kind of attacks from their memories and their training. They felt the presence of a Nid, and the whole halls. Try saying that fast. Whole halls of ghost warriors are brought back. So Yandon is kind of back to like more than full strength with this. After that, our reborn head back to the webway. A ton of ghost warriors left with him though, so Yandon's pretty fucked up about the defenses now. Because
Yandon's like, woo, we're awesome, we've got it all back. Oh, damn it, where are they going? Oh,
hey, you gave me the feelings back. All right, let's go with you. You seem to know what you're doing there.
You're cool. These guys were dicks.
So traveling around in the webway this whole time was Araman, who'd heard about Enid.
There's our fourth.
This is our fourth god. Yeah,
Tzeentch.
When they first came into the webway, they were a small force, but now they were massive. They had, the little old lady who swallowed craftworld all over themselves there. Due to Araman, he stole a few books from the Black Library so he could navigate the webway really well.
What a dick.
He didn't even check them out. So when they entered a portion of the webway with thin walls, Araman and the Thousand Sons and their demons sacrificed 999 prisoners to please the gods. Enough to break through, and then they break through. And it's described as kind of almost Zol Mortalis style fighting. So they're all in like separate corridors. Everything's kind of held down. Tzeentch magic is hardcore in this battle.
Okay.
Howling Banshees were turned back into toddlers inside their armor.
Oh, no way.
That's hot.
Three swooping hawks were turned into a snake creature.
Okay.
Dire Avengers would shoot, and then their shurikens would fly back at them.
Oh, that's not
Oh, cool.
Lord of Change is kind of flying up above, laughing a bunch. And then suddenly Janzar and all of the Phoenix Lords show up. And then they all have kind of like their badass Avengers moment from the start of Avengers 2 when they all do like their little individual fight thing and kill some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suddenly Eldrad comes. He fortunes the shit out of everyone.
And probably sets up some like crystal statues.
Yeah, probably. Well, no. One of his is less hardcore than that. One of the Farseers that comes with him, Araman does a spell on him and turns him into a wooden statue. So not crystal.
Okay.
Not crystal, but close.
But still a statue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's described as Eldrad shattered Thousand Suns like they were fine china, which I thought was a wonderful discussion about recasting miniatures.
Seriously.
See, it's shitty quality, guys.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
That was good. It literally says in the book, like fine china.
There we go.
9,000 Sun sorcerers arrive, like original from the Cabal that made them all dust.
Oh, wow.
A bunch of Eldar die. And then, in the end, Evrin turns the Thousand Suns from dust back into people. She undoes the magic from Araman that he did in the 30th millennium. In the confusion, she uses that to push them all into the warp. And they die. Because in her words, Enid gives life and Enid takes life away.
Yeah, there we go.
Because they're people now, so they can do that.
Yeah.
Smash cut. Ice Moon Kalissus.
Okay.
The Reborn's number has been cut in half after that Tzeentch battle. It was pretty hardcore. Okay. And they're guided through the webway by harlequins, and everyone's kind of talking about this new Eldar pantheon of gods. You have Cain, kind of the violent war god. You have Segarath, the laughing god for the harlequins, and Enid, the god of death. The Eldrad had a vision of this planet, this ice moon that they were going to, and the snow was stained by blood. And by Eldar kind of rune reading, this was bad. It meant doom for the Eldar. Eldrad hoped it was actually just doom for his enemies. But maybe, hopefully, probably not.
Yeah.
But this is the same moon that Celestine and company from Gathering Storm 1 go to at the end of the book there. Lilith Herspex from the start of the book, she sent a bunch of witches to kind of check her out.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. And everyone's like, I don't really trust you, but at the same time, we are very depleted in numbers. So sure, come on. We'll take you in there.
Yeah.
On the moon, the Eldar came to the aid of the Imperium. The Imperium's there, and if you remember from Gathering Storm 1, they were being attacked by the Black Legion on that moon pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
So after 3 assaults and 3 failures because of the Eldar, Abaddon ordered the Black Legion away. And that's when Eldar, the Vizark, and Evrin, Eldrad, the Vizark, and Evrin, met with Celestine, Greyfax, and Belisarius Cowl.
Yeah.
They had 3 hours of talks, and they came to an agreement, which was described in the book as the closest peace that the two races had ever had in their histories.
Okay.
Celestine had said that she was led to the moon by visions, but they had no choice but to accept the Eldar help. They needed the webway to make it to Ultramar before Chaos got there, so they could get to Girly Man for Gathering Storm 3. And that, my friends, is Gathering Storm Part 2.
Nice.
Whoa.
I also like how they're like gathering all of their special miniatures together, bit by bit, where they're like, these guys get together, you can find them in one box. And then they gather with the other ones that you can also find in a box.
And they did that a bunch, I have to say.
It'd be kind of interesting if, like, Gathering Storm 3, if they have, like, a formation with just the 3 from the box from Gathering Storm 3.
Which they will.
And then if they have a formation with all 9 of the special ones.
Oh, that would be like a way to spend 10,000 points really quickly.
Yeah. But I mean, it would also be a way for them to sell a whole bunch of boxes of miniatures.
Yeah. So I have to say, I loved this book.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. It sounds like awesome stuff.
It was awesome. The battles are really well done.
Yeah.
They speak about kind of, it's Eldar focused. It's going to be. That's kind of the goal of this. I'm now all in Inari. That's going to be my primary going forward, just because of reading this stuff here, reading kind of how these Wraith constructs are now given new life. And I want to know, what's that like? What does that make kind of Wraith Knights, where you have kind of one dead Eldar and then their twin piloting it, their live twin piloting it? How does that work if everyone's like super alive?
Because now if he's alive and you're inside it,
then is it kind of like Pacific Rim?
Oh,
yeah. So it's kind of like, and just it makes so much sense rules wise to me as well, how the whole Inari thing works.
Yeah.
So I'm super psyched for this, and this really sets up the future well. Our characters are set up, their motivations are set up. I will say this, like all the Gathering Storm books that have come up, you need to read the sidebars and the side boxes, and it doesn't tell you to.
Oh, okay.
But I'd go back and reread and figure out that Warlock from Alterac died, because that wasn't in the main text. That was in a little side box there. But big fan of the fluff of this book here.
Yeah,
I mean, it was something that I was kind of surprised about. Like when I was going through and I was trying to get ready for this and like looking at like the lore for like I didn't read the book, but I like looking to see like what other people had written. Like a Unid shows up, I think, in multiple versions of the codex. So like 3rd edition codex, I think they said like 4th edition and 7th edition codexes. And it wasn't a ton of places. I think there was only like 5 or 6 spots where like the fluff of it shows up, but still like it goes back. Like it's not like it just came out of nowhere. But usually it was like little morsels here and there talking about like the god of the dead.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
I mean, the whole book puts the Eldar race in general in such an interesting place for me. You have the Dark Eldar, who before were kind of, we're infighting, but also we're going to go in slave raids, and also let's not die and torture people so we don't die.
Yeah.
To me, this adds another layer to them. Kamara is no longer kind of a safe haven or a safe place.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So they're going to be encouraged more into the real world, because that's going to be safer than the hidden city.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The Eldar themselves, there's some fractures there between kind of those who believe the current way is the best, but kind of the soul stones and kind of the ultra rigorous military and kind of training and no emotions and no excess. And kind of these new reborn people, so kind of adding more.
The Death Watch.
Yeah, the Death.
Oh, right. Sorry, Reborn. Gotcha.
Ted, I will kill you so hard.
There's something cool happening here. There's something.
Oh man,
something's happening.
Yeah. I'm very excited for where it leads. Kind of like the end of Gathering Storm 1. I'm very excited for where it leaves the Imperium.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see this more in Gathering Storm 3.
I'm pretty excited about.
I'm pretty excited. I mean, I don't collect any of the armies in that book. I'm still going to pick up the book itself because I intend to kind of keep it.
Collect one of them.
You don't collect Fallen Dark Angels.
Yeah, there you go.
John, I will kill you so hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see Cypher. It's because here's the thing for me, going a little Dark Angel mad here, is that the Dark Angels have, like, other than this one, have been at every single thing that's been happening so far, where it's like, oh, Curse of the Wolfen, guess who's also there? The Dark Angels. Oh, the Wrath of Magnus, guess who's also been there? The Dark Angels. Oh, the Fall of Katie, guess who's also been there? The Dark Angels. And we just don't get anything. We get one mission in the Fall of Cadia. Yeah. That's Dark Angel specific. That's it. And it's like give us some love.
The Dark Angels, the Illuminati. Like, you're in the background. You don't get any of the fun stuff. You're just like the reason that I got audited.
Yeah, but that's just boring, man. That's boring. I don't want to be Bilderberg. I want to be like, I don't know,
Phil?
Kardashians or something. I want the stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, I learned a lot of insight about chaos in this book as well, and about how kind of demons operate.
Yeah.
And kind of the trickery that goes on in their level.
Come through gates, apparently, that are opened by Eldar.
Yeah, and then we learned that,
Yeah. When Eldar sneeze, they run away.
Exactly. Eldar can't keep a gate closed, and a good demon has to go through every gate it finds.
Be prepared, demon players, because I'm about to unleash the greatest Eldar psychic power from this book.
The mighty.
Yeah,
that would be hilarious if it was like a 6 warp charge psychic power that removes all demons from the board.
But it's -5 warp charges if you sigh, and everyone really believes that you just don't want to be there anymore.
It perils on any non-success, and it's a 6 warp charge success thing.
I'm going to be casting the sigh of meh on you guys.
It's calmer meh.
Yeah. It's pronounced. Not meh.
But no, it was super good. If you are into Eldar lore, or even demon lore, I would say, pick up the book if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Hell, if you're even into Warhammer 40k, I would pick it up, because Jesus Christ, is the timeline advancing.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it.
More stories being told.
I think it's cool. I like that.
Where's it? Okay, I'm going to ask you real quick, because we're running long, obviously.
Obviously.
Because I've been talking for like 2 hours. But
That's true.
Phil, where do you see the story going from here?
Good question. I'm pretty excited because the whole, the fact that Cypher's in this next set of the Gathering Storm, really, to me as a Dark Angel player, it speaks a lot as to where they're going with this, because traditionally Cypher has always been, kind of on a mission, and a mission that's unknowable to anyone except for him, really. He's constantly shown up throughout the history of the Dark Angels, and he's had interactions with the Dark Angels, and we keep looking for him and we keep capturing him, and then he ends up being the key to us being able to do things that we need to do, and then he usually escapes when he helps us with that. And it's kind of rumored that he escapes with the help of certain forces within the Dark Angels. So I think it's interesting in this, because there's always the rumor that he's trying to make his way to Terra to either fix the throne or kill the Emperor.
Well, he's going with a giant fuck-off sword.
Yeah, but the big fuck-off sword, it's true. He's going with a giant fuck-off sword, but that fuck-off sword might also be what's necessary to fix the, to fix the throne. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes with that, like which direction they go with that. And
so
to be honest, I have no idea.
Is he the keymaster or the gatekeeper? Because we also have the...
he would technically be the keymaster.
Yeah.
Because Call, on the other hand, has the key.
It's true.
Yes,
true.
They both have the
little
key.
dangly key.
And Phil or Ted.
So Cypher has to play bottom, since Call has the key, right? So
No.
he gets top.
No.
Or is that
No.
okay?
Dark Angels are always on top.
Cypher is power top. Kel's power bottom. Ted, where do you see kind of the story going from here?
I think like in a lot of ways, and this is like it shouldn't be a big surprise. Like I think this is going to be like the end time. I mean, it's not the end times.
Don't fucking
not.
say that. Don't fucking say that.
Ted, I'll kill you. Ted, we'll both kill you so hard.
We're
We're going to kill you so hard.
For fantasy, where this is going to be the usher for 8th edition. I think this is like the lead up to 8th edition.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's going to be like the change to the whole, like they've been talking about, like changing the meta, changing the whole like structure of the game.
They did that by making Eldar more powerful. Strength from death, yo.
Yeah. Like, so we want to make Eldar the game. We weren't going to get rid of all the other races. It's just going to be Eldar the game.
The only...
It's going to make Eldar... They're not going to get rid of the other races. They're just going to make them very poor choices in comparison.
Yeah.
Right. And phase them out, because nobody buys them anymore.
Yeah.
But I think I'm looking forward to like that huge change in meta, that huge like earth-shattering kind of thing to happen, like whether it's like killing the Emperor, which plunges everything into, like now we have Gulamon coming back, like, whoa, what the hell is all this? Like, this is not the world that like I thought that I was creating with the Emperor, like what, you guys got it all ass backwards, and now it seems like the word bearers ran with the Imperium. So I think it's that time where they're going to kind of like restructure everything. Are we going to see the death of the Emperor and the ushering in of like the golden era and like the Star Child, and is this an opportunity, because they're bringing in the other Primarchs supposedly? I think Martarion and Fulgrim, and I don't know who else is on the Imperium side. But
and for more information about the Age of the Emperor and Golden Child and Star Child, please listen to our earlier episode of I don't remember the number.
Yeah. Somewhere in between 1 and 8, or 12 or 20.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't see them end timing 40K because my issue with it is that the reason they did it with fantasy and they came out with Age of Sigmar is that the fantasy line was a failing line for them, and they thought worst comes to worst, if this does totally go to hell and nothing happens of this,
we're not losing
we're not losing anything. But they're not going to kill. They're not going to kill their golden cow.
And that's where I don't think they're going to. I don't think we're going to see like a massive revolution like we saw with Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
But what I do see is like for the story alone, like I think that we're going to see that shift.
Okay, yeah. I definitely agree with that. I think there's going to be a major shift in the narrative from here on out.
Right.
I think it's going to be. I think it's kind of exciting. You know.
It's about time.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
So that's really exciting. I mean, I don't know. I think what's going to happen in the next book is the orcs are going to show up and run everything. Because I'm going to be writing my. No, they all disappeared.
Yeah, I will say, kind of what I think is going to happen here is we're going to see a fractured Imperium. We're going to see the Imperium split into 2 factions. That is my bold prediction.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have kind of your High Lords of Terra, regular cool dudes, and you're going to have robot girly mans. Cool dudes of the Imperium.
So you think it's going to be Space Marines versus regular people?
I don't think. I think it's going to be kind of an uneasy alliance, but kind of I think it's going to.
So you think Girly Man's just going to like rally?
Fuck you guys! I'm going home. Yeah, I'm going to take all my Space Marines with you.
Remember that book I wrote? Just throw it out.
Throw it out.
We're coming back together.
You guys did it anyway. We're good.
Everyone come back.
I'd be kind of curious to see like who, if that's the case, like who follows them, because it seems like all of the Imperium has bought like that new. The Emperor is God doctrine.
You're going to have trouble with the Black Templars going along.
But I mean, if Girly Man makes it to Terra and he sees how it's being run now, there's no way he's going to leave shit as it stands.
Right. But that's where I'm thinking, like, who's going to be the ones to, like, if he is going to do that, like, who's going to follow him? Are we going to see, like, a certain chapters start following him? Like, obviously not the Black Templars, but, like... Who's gonna? And maybe there probably will be, but I mean, I can see the Mechanicum haven't changed too much over the last 1,000 or 10,000 years. So maybe parts of them, they were allowed to have their quirky, weird ways. But
well, I think Games Workshop looked at Forge World sales. They're like, wow, 30K Civil War sells really well. Let's do that in 40K.
Maybe,
not really.
No, but I think I think what you're going to see is. There's going to be a shift in the meta because I imagine that whatever happens with this, they're going to see either. I think you're going to see chaos being pushed back. So either because the Emperor is reborn, or because of the Emperor being kind of resuscitated on the throne. However it is, I see chaos being like pushed back. Maybe the Eye of Terror being closed or like smallened. Or like made smaller, and then I see unbiggened, and then I see maybe a shift towards the emphasis on the Xenos races and the threat that they pose. So maybe have more Hive Fleet coming in, and maybe finally see that changing, or maybe a giant Wa that's going to be starting to come through.
God, I wish.
I know.
Make orcs great again.
Yeah. Gross. You already jumped ship. You're now Yannari. So.
I would honestly, if they change the orc rules, I would jump back. In a heartbeat. Because I miss my orcs. There's in Beast Arises, they're done right, and I'm waiting for that to translate to the tabletop.
Beast Arises is good. You guys need to finish.
I'm going to finish it up there. Ted, do you have anything else you want to add here?
No, I mean I think that I've. There was a lot of things I didn't realize. Like Eldar have always been like a race I just didn't want to care about because and it doesn't have anything to do with like their fluff or anything. Like I just didn't like they intimidated me on a painting level. So like I just ignore them.
You should just paint them badly like I do.
That's all I have to do. Yeah. I'll just pay you to paint them.
My commission rates are ridiculous for my quality. eBay pro-painted, bro.
But it is kind of interesting to like go back and like like the more I read what other people have kind of surmised that like the gods were kind of more taken from like Norse and like Roman mythology, and like that you have and so there's like more of like pantheonish kind of like the gods are like semi-mortal, So I think that was kind of
they had one that died multiple times in this book, didn't it?
That was the Avatar.
Oh, the Avatar. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So avatars are different.
I'll have you know.
But there are gods that had died. I can't remember which ones, but
a lot of them
I think
died
there was like
when Slaanesh was born.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of like a neat throwback. So I really like that. Also, the going to the word Aldari. Initially, I didn't really care for it. Like, they're trying to, Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard. But then I was reading something that was saying that the word Eldar was actually taken from Tolkien, which was like the elf elders in Lord of the Rings. So, that kind of made sense. They're like, okay, let's go back to this like Eldari. Let's change that word that I guess they'd referenced many decades ago, but then they just kind of like threw away and it became the Eldar. Yeah. So it is kind of neat. They're like, all right, let's try to get away from somebody else's IP.
And for me, I really appreciated it because it wasn't saying, okay, your Eldar are now called Eldari and your Dark Eldar are Dracu Eldari. They didn't say anything like that. It said the way the race used to refer to themselves before the Slaanesh birth and before that happened was as Eldari. They just fractured into different factions that are called different things.
Yeah.
I can accept it a little bit better like that.
Sure, yeah.
I kind of foresee a combined codex in the future with them. Because that kind of goes along the lines of like what they're talking about, maybe the simplification of things. Because you see things like with the agents of the Imperium, the Imperial Agents Codex. I could see it being an Eldari Codex. I could see them kind of pulling things together into smaller or like in more combined packages. Because that could also go along the lines of what you're saying. Like maybe Girly Man pulls all the Space Marines to follow him, and you just get one Space Marine Codex, which I know would drive Dark Angel and Space Wolf.
Then you would have a legitimate reason to have Skyhammer in your force.
But then exactly. I don't just have really green looking Ultramarines. But then you know what I mean.
I could
see them. I could see them making that, like making the bigger ones, just like have them be, a chapter tactics Dark Angels. You know what I mean? And then that chapter tactics opens up the access to different units.
For sure. Different organization charts, different abilities.
I could see that. I
don't know. I think they've had a lot of success with the fractioning of the Space Marines. I mean, there isn't just like Space Marines. When you go to like the tournaments, like Space Marines was the third army, and then down the list you had like Space Wolves and Blood Angels and Dark Angels. And Dark Angels was like I think number like the fifth largest army or like most played there.
You know why that
so
was,
I mean,
right?
you don't need to have like
because
one codex. You don't.
Blades.
I've heard so I don't know. I think they're doing just fine.
I know.
Dividing it all out.
Yeah, I can see them doing well, but everyone has been saying like the big thing that everyone keeps getting out of that's coming out of Age of Sigmar is they like the fact that it's simpler.
Space Marines overwatch at full ballistic skill?
Yeah, or like they just see they say like, oh, why they're like, hey, look at this, simplified here in Age of Sigmar. We want simplification. And the easiest way to simplify the game would be to simplify the factions.
I mean? And
then you have fine. Then you have faction Space Marine. You have faction Imperial. You have faction.
That's not entirely true.
Eldar.
That's not entirely true. With Sigmar, the rules are simplified, but the armies are not. And so the rules themselves are only 4 pages, but each and every unit are vastly different. Yeah, like you actually go in and they have their own like 2 pages. Of
I think what he's meaning is kind of for codexes, so you don't have kind of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but in Age of Sigmar, they dropped it down to 4
main factions
that you can work with. They turned it down to 4 main factions, didn't they?
Okay, yeah.
And that's what I see doing. I don't see them like wiping the fluff of the Dark Angels away, but I see them bringing it together where you have faction Astartes. You know what I mean? And then you have and things like that where it just combines things into groups. So sort of like they did with the agents, Imperial agents. The way I can see them setting up to do with the Eldari, that kind of thing. I could see them doing that where they simplify it back down together so you don't need 37 books to run an Eldari army. You just have the one Eldari codex.
Oh, I'm so sure I'd have a Forge rule book too.
There you go.
And I guess we'll see where that goes because I know that there seems to be like it's a seesaw there. Like one decade they're trying to simplify all the rules down to base components and then try to get to where they got rid of chapter approved, they got rid of like all the rules in the white dwarfs because people were complaining too much that you need to carry so many volumes with you, and then everybody started complaining that it was too simple or that it was they weren't adding new things in White Dwarf, and so they started throwing stuff in White Dwarf again.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of like seesawed back and forth.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's I kind of see it seesawing back to where, because that's what everyone keeps talking about. They're like, why do I have to carry 37 books to play my one army? This is ridiculous. So I could see them just being like,
cheese piece
because
of
you
shit
asked for it.
Well, exactly, but that's what I could see them doing, just being because that's the easiest way for them to change it without really pissing off a whole lot of people.
Because I mean, if you look at we have a tournament coming up this weekend. Yeah. My tournament, I have to take 3 army books with me. I need to take my Eldar book. I need to take a Dark Eldar book. I need to take the Fall of Fractured Beltan book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For one army, I'm at 3.
It's true.
Now, if they did something like if they could do something like that, where it's like like Age of Sigmar, like you don't have to take any books with you theoretically. Like you just bring your iPad, then you just have like your war scrolls that you are using, and that's actually kind of what I see more coming down the pipe. Is like it's not necessarily going to be that there's like 4 books out there, and you just kind of like pick and choose between that book or whatever. I see like more like, look, there's going to continually put out books, and there's going to be like different sub factions, because that's kind of what they were going for. Was like if you play AdMech, you have 2 books. You have Skitarii. And so then you want to bring knights in. Actually, you have 3 books, and then you want to put them all together. You have to bring in a 4th book,
exactly, and
plus a White Dwarf,
exactly, and that's what I see that they're. That's why I could see them combining it into.
So this is where I think that they're trying to like push, like, hey, why don't you guys just go out? Don't be cheapskates. Get yourself an iPad, like, get your damn app, and like
it would be cheaper than collecting some armies.
Well, yeah, but that's I guess that's the same way you can have it now. You could just have all of those codexes on your iPad.
But I don't see them sticking to codexes anymore. I think we're going to start seeing like formations, and we're already doing that.
They're making a lot of money out of printing these books.
Oh yeah.
So I don't see them. I don't see them looking to find ways to get rid of the books, especially in 40K. Because when they just completely just wiped fantasy, they had to be able to provide people the ability to use what they had. Otherwise, they knew they would never get anyone on board. You know what I mean? There was people with like thousands of dollars of models that if they just made it impossible to use them, people were going to revolt. You know what I mean? And I mean, you did see people lighting their damn armies on fire.
Armies,
But they were like, if we're just going to wipe it clean and start over again, we need to make it so that what you have you can play with again real easy. Here they are for free. Yeah. You know what I mean? To get people back on board. Where it's like, all right, well, all I've got to do is just buy this. I've just got to try this new system. But with 40K, I could see them just tweaking things. And then all of a sudden you come out with just like you come out with a new codex and a new edition, I could see them coming out with, Codex Astartes, Codex Eldari, Codex whatever. You know what I mean? And combining those all together. So it becomes like a war scroll thing, because you've got the entries for the different units inside there that you can then just build your armies from. And maybe simplifying the formations thing and just having like one, thing that you just build from. So like a CAD of sorts that you can then pick and choose the different units that you want to use with it.
All right.
Well, I'd be curious, because I think like a lot of the war scrolls for Sigmar are available online, and so and there are some that you have to like pay for, which is kind of like pay to win. But like on the other hand, like I would probably go and buy like my favorite factions army book, and as well as use the app. It's really handy to be able to like bust that out. But on the other hand, like you want to be able to go through and drool over the pictures, read the fluff in detail. You're going to buy the book, and so I don't know. I'd be curious to see, like, are people going out there and just using the app exclusively and screw it all, or are they doing both?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Questions?
I guess we will see.
Time.
Yeah.
Right.
Questions for another time.
Yeah.
Well, this has been I'm sorry.
In other news, I would like to point out that I think we kind of I touched on this. I can't remember if that was like in between or whatever. I finally got around to putting all our LVO pictures on the internet.
Oh yeah. Great gallery.
Yeah, so
fantastic
there's
pictures.
140 pictures in there. There's still some more to come. I think I didn't do all the award ceremony pictures.
I cannot wait to see the ones featuring all the GW miniatures solely.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Right, so I think Warhammer TV had I'd posted on there, and they'd contacted, or I can't remember if it was Warhammer TV or the Warhammer 40K community, the GW page, not the Salt page. But they had said they'd asked that we put together a folder that was just GW, so they were pretty excited about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, so if you were at LVO. Make sure to go check out our Facebook page, Mob Rules AK, and tag your friends, tag yourself, do whatever, let people know. Already we've had people tag friends like, yo man, we saw your drop pod over here.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's super cool.
So do that. I mean, they are decent pictures, so go ahead and jack them, just as long as you give me photo credits if you're going to share them.
Yeah.
But
and then if you go over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/mob rules media, managed to get that old unique URL.
There you go. You got the unique URL.
Eisenhorn still goes every Tuesday. I am
cool.
I am out of backups though. So I need to record fresh ones.
There you go.
But that one will continue on Tuesday. Having a lot of fun playing through that game.
Sweet.
And then we're looking at adding other stuff there too eventually. Phil, anything you want to plug? You have like a thing you do?
Oh, yeah, I've got this thing, the Glacial Geek. Every Monday, we've got full battle reports. Every Friday, we got Kill Team battle reports. And
but those are only half the battle, right? Because you say full battle reports on Monday.
Sorry, I say full battle reports.
And then Friday, it's only turn 1 and 2?
Yeah, no. Much shorter Kill Team battle reports on Friday. Regular 40K as opposed to full 40K. Regular 40K battle reports on Monday. So
where you only use half the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Where I forget half the rules apparently. If you ask the internet.
And then just randomly, and that's actually youtube.com/c/glacial geek or the Glacial Geek.
I think it's.
Well, just search Glacial Geek on Google.
Yeah,
It'll come up.
If you search Glacial Geek on there, you'll find it. Don't search that one. Or do it after you watch mine.
I am thinking as well of recording some kind of party-based card games with me, Phil, Tad, a couple of our friends, other stuff as well. If there's interest in that from you guys, please let me know what you want us to play there as well. And I'll throw that up there as well because I play card games all the time, and free content's free content. But yeah, I think that's about it for us. I hate to kind of rush everyone, wrap us up. I've kept. If you're still listening, thank you.
Yes,
seriously. I've kept you for like 2 hours so far.
Yeah. Wake up! If you're still just playing, wake up. You must have fallen asleep. So
you missed a soul stone when you were painting. But yeah, so thank you so much. We will be back in 2 weeks.
Those weeks.
To talk about TBD. We are very excited about TBD.
Yeah, TBD is very exciting.
TBD
very
is the best.
It's hot.
Yeah. So for Mob Rules, I've been John.
Hey, I'm Ted.
I'm Phil.
And we will see you next time.
Mob Rules.
Mob Rules.
This episode of Mob Rules has been brought to you by Mob Rules Media. Please join our Facebook group to be part of the conversation at facebook.com/mobrulesak. You can also email us at themob@tophat-arts.com. Thanks for checking us out, and we will see you in 2 weeks.